Okay, I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me now? How about now? Check, check, check. Can you guys hear me? Okay, I'm gonna have to log off and log back on, guys. I'm sorry. Okay. You guys got me now. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? Let me stop this and I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back. You know what? Fuck it. We'll just leave it. Okay. Um, I want to show you guys this real quick. If you go to realbodybuildingpodcast.com, you guys can see the new website that I'm building out for everybody. One of the cool things I have enjoyed with this podcast is the sense of community that has come about because people who have been watching for a long time, and new people that have watched or started watching kind of feel that sense of community too in the comment sections and various things that have to do with the podcast. So I wanted to go one step further with the website and allow you guys to get involved with us, and that's kind of the whole point of it. So I'm going to show you guys this real quick. Let's go to share screen options. One second here. I'm having trouble with this thing today. I don't know why. All right. So we're going to share screen. This is kind of a test website. So you'll see some things in here that say stuff like this, like test. So this is the real bodybuilding website. And you're going to have a full dashboard here that'll show everything. So this still isn't completed, but I want to show you guys. We're going to have a section called Rate Your Physique. In this section, you'll be able to plug in your pictures and you plug in your weight and your height and whatever class you're doing, whatever phase you are in the off season or pre-contest. And then I can manage the judges. So here I'll put in like, me. I can put in me, Ian, and Paul, for example, say we're going to judge and give our critiques. So we'll give you guys a score out of 10 based on muscularity, condition, and symmetry. And then we'll put our notes here as to what we think you need to work on. So if you're a member of the site, you'll be able to upload one physique photo a month. So basically, we'll be like your online coaches where we can say, okay, this month you improved your hamstrings, you improved your quads, you still need to work on some back or whatever it is, but you'll be able to update this every single month. So that's kind of the rate your physique section. We're also going to have a rate your form section, which is not in here, but in that you'll be able to upload like a squat video or something. And I'll have Mike, for example, go in and me and Ian, whoever, go in and say, okay, this is how you can correct your form. This is what you can do. And that will help you guys with your form. So that's not up here yet, but it will be, and I'll probably be able to show it on the next podcast. Then we have the fantasy league, we'll start with the predictions. You guys know how the predictions work. We do them every week, but now you guys will be able to get involved, and you guys can do predictions with us. There'll be a leaderboard that's just for the podcast people, and then there'll be a leaderboard for everybody in the world. And we're going to give away prizes per show, and then a prize pack at the end of the year for those top three that beat everybody the whole year long. So that's going to get pretty interesting as the year goes on, and the prizes, whether they're supplements or whether they're meet your favorite pro, or whether it's train at the HOSSTILE gym or train at Pumptown and Axis and Sledge's gym, like whatever the prizes may be, but they're going to be throughout the year. And then the last thing is we have the fantasy league, and this is probably where the main prizes are going to go. So for the fantasy league, you're going to pick a team. So they've kind of plugged these in for me since they're doing some testing. You're going to pick a team. You'll be allowed 15,000 points, and each bodybuilder is worth a certain amount. So you see here, Samson's worth 8,000 points. So you're going to pick a team built out for 15,000 points. And then as those bodybuilders compete through the year, you'll be able to see how they're doing. And that will give you your fantasy league, your fantasy bodybuilding team. It'll give you the points depending on where they place throughout the year, various shows. And at the end of the year or per show, just like the predictions, we'll be doing prizes for the top three. So these are all kind of things that I built out for you guys to kind of build out the community even further. So now we can all kind of have fun together. It is a subscription. There will be a small fee, The website costs a lot of money to be built, so there is a cost that goes with it. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So we might do a two-tiered cost. Like we might do like predictions and fantasy league might be like $5.99 a month. And then if you want to add rate your form and rate your physique, it might be an additional $5.99 a month, because the rate your form and rate your physique are kind of like an online coach almost. So I feel like it's worth the $5.99. Or we'll do a deal for the whole year instead of it being $12 a month for everything. We'll do a deal for the whole year for like $99.99 or something like that if you want to do the whole year. So I think it'd be cool. I think it'd be fun for everybody. I think we can all get involved together, and you guys can see if you're better than the pros at predicting shows and picking winners. So that's kind of the fun part of it too. So anyway, on with the podcast. I just want to show you. Listen, last thing, go to realbodybuildingpodcast.com. Leave your email there. So as soon as it launches, we're going to drop everybody an email, say it's launched. If you want to get involved, if you want to become a member, then you'll be able to. But you got to go to realbodybuildingpodcast.com. I'll show you guys here real quickly. If I go here, podcast.com, enter. It'll bring you to this page. Just drop your email here, join the list, and that's the end of it. And then you guys can get notified as soon as it goes live. Okay. Here we go. Oh, what? Stefan, how are you?
All good. You are glittering again.
I'm what?
Sparkling.
Well, I was in Nevada for a week, so I have a very nice tan. And
You're Mr. Easy Rider now forever.
Mr. Easy Rider, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll take that. You know what? It's the only thing on earth I love doing absolutely with zero negatives to it.
No, it looked really, really cool. Your face is always looking chilled when you post something, and
yeah,
I think it's a really cool thing to do.
It's a nice way to get. Hey, James, how are you? Sorry, I didn't say how
No,
are
I'm
you.
good. I'm just chiming in, seeing what you're talking about. So I'm listening.
We're talking about. He called me Mr. Easy Rider. I'm Mr. Easy Rider now.
I saw, man. It looks like you had a really good few days, man. I was happy for you. Like the energy, the colors of the posts, the suns, and I don't know, just as a good vibe.
It honestly, James,
I don't know what can beat that.
I know. I know a lot of us have had like I don't want to say mental health issues, but mental health struggles here and there in our lives.
Yeah.
Ian, how are you?
Hello.
What's up, guys?
I thought I'd mix you in with the Europeans today because the thing is, Ian's always making fun of Europeans.
What?
So I
now
said,
we've got to put him in front of them.
I want to see if he'll do it in front of your face.
Hey, I only make fun of non-white races, okay?
Yeah.
Arabs, black,
Arabs predominantly.
Arabs predominantly, but with the European whites, I'm all groovy, so we're good here. This is my people here. We're good.
Bring you back to your roots.
Have a British. I have a British passport. I'm one of them.
You are.
James knows
this.
Well, I have actually. I know I don't have a Lebanese passport. I was going to say I could also be somewhat European.
I'm sure you could apply for one.
Which strange sentence now went through my head, and people will probably hang me for that. But I just hit it out. We Europeans invented the United States.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. That's true, but that's factual. You can't. They can get mad, but that's a fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
So nothing to discuss after that anymore.
Yeah, that's really it. But
what?
You left all of the European culture behind.
Yeah.
Basically you built America because you hated your own country. So technically Europe is shit because you left there to create a new place.
I think they just went because they were thrown out,
Oh, okay.
More like that. You got the garbage.
No, but think about it. You know what? Actually, if we're speaking facts, you're right. Europe created the United States, but they created it because they hated their own countries.
Do you think that's what they created it?
I don't know anything about history, so I'm gonna
a lot of
listen.
Listen, this is what my
Well, what do you think?
My knowledge of it is
your Arab knowledge.
Yeah,
my
limited. This is what they teach them in the Quran, you know.
My limited knowledge of the situation is that people left for a better land, a better opportunity, and more freedom.
I think the more freedom is the most crucial thing why people
but
because they were able to do there what they want. You just could go there and say that's my land and that was your land, as easy as it is, you know.
Yeah, but they also wanted their own land, which they couldn't have in Europe. So they were traveling to America to create a plot of land.
Yeah, because it's already established.
To farm their own land.
And the second big thing for sure was beginning of the 20th century when all the people had to go because of political reasons, and they founded Hollywood, founded all your banks, founded all you have.
Yeah,
so it's European.
Yeah, but again, it's because Europe was shit, so they created America.
No, it was shit to that time. I need to say that you're right concerning that point. But actually, they were just thrown out. Most of them.
Were they really?
Sigmund Freud had to go. Albert Einstein had to go. Just a few of them from the very, very famous. Whole Hollywood had to go.
I thought it was. I knew some were thrown out, but I thought the bulk of the people were searching for a new opportunity, a new land, new livelihood.
You probably will find at least when it comes to Hollywood, but also when it comes to those scientists, you will always find some kind of Jewish roots in their family. So they all had to leave the country because otherwise they would have been killed. So they went to America and built up some great things there. Because I think there was also the combination of more possibilities and freedom.
But hold on a minute.
Yeah.
Jews weren't the first settlers.
We're
talking.
No. I'm talking now about the second wave in the beginning of the 20th century.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about the first wave of settlers that were mostly Scandinavian, from what I know. Right?
British, not more Scandinavia?
British and French, I would say no.
I would also say British, French.
Yeah.
I was too high in class. I don't know what
they just wanted to see if the native slaves would work harder than the black ones.
One second.
Okay, there are that Viking stories for Columbus, but that doesn't count.
Who is doing some Wikipedia as we speak?
Wait a minute. No, I got a super chat here. I got to
GPTing it.
Okay.
This guy says, settlers were American and stopped identifying as European, hence the references of being American in the found documents. See, they basically disowned their own country.
And then called themselves the first Americans.
They're like, we don't want to be European. Fuck that place.
The weather was better in America.
But still you kept the language.
Yeah, but they made it better.
How?
Like if you listen to British people talk, you're like, what the fuck?
No, don't say nothing.
Actually, for me as a non-English speaking person, they made it easier.
Well, from what I've heard, the British accent that like James has now isn't the original. Like way back, they sounded like you and me, Fouad, not like James.
Oh, really?
I think this was a thing put on like for aristocracy where they like made themselves sound different than the others. So they put on this accent that stayed, but the accent that came over to America and like stuff sounded more like you and me, I think.
So I'm basically trying to show the fuck off. I'm basically trying to be like, think I'm proper.
I could be completely incorrect, but that's what I can read that somewhere.
I am James Hollingshead of Lord of Manor.
You know what? I don't mind the British. I actually like the British accent or British speaking language. I just
but it's so fucking different.
It depends which accent you're talking about.
I was going to say,
Asha, or are we talking about James? You know,
I was just going there.
But that's not even. They don't call it English. It's Scouse. So it's a complete different language.
Yeah, it's a different dialect.
I can't even understand Scouse. It's like
that's like
no, me neither.
Yeah. Is that like
the most funniest thing is when I get a voice message from Nathan and I just text back, wait a minute, can you please write? I don't understand anything.
So is Scouse considered like ghetto,
isn't it?
ghetto British?
Yeah.
It's considered like kind of we have a word like chav, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a bit chavvy, but it's fine. Like a lot of us are from areas that consist of a lot of people that we consider chavs. Outsiders looking in be like chav. That means like poor, low class. It's not that. It's more like urban. So it's more. It's not necessarily financial. It's more to do with district. Where do you live? And
that's why I said ghetto.
Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people think, oh, chat, because when you say someone's a chav, you think they're on benefits.
Whole Liverpool loves now
but you can have money and still sound like a chav.
I'm not saying all of Liverpool is ghetto. I'm just saying
we've actually had a resurgence now because of these programs.
Don't make it worse.
you know we got these programs in England that, like, I don't know, things like Love Island and all this shit. They've actually popularized the chavvy accent now, and you'll find there's a lot of wealth even in those people that talk like that. That talk like they're really thick.
Mm-hmm.
Like they sound like they're idiots, but they're clued up. So it's all kind of just depends where you're from, area wise.
Before you got on, Ian, we were talking about I'm
Easy Rider.
Stefan.
No, not Jane Fonda.
Not Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda would be very nice.
Stefan calls me Easy Rider now. We're talking about. They said I looked really happy, and we were talking about mental health, and I said,
"Riding."
I'm not going to make this sound like, oh, I have problems. I have a good life, and I don't, but all of us have.
You're Arab.
That's a big problem. You have one of the biggest problems you can have.
No, but all of us have had issues here and there, and honestly, riding is like the only fucking time I have zero problems.
Yeah,
I can totally see that.
Yeah,
just with the difference that my riding is always combined with adrenaline, and your cool riding isn't.
No, that's not true. Yeah. That's not true at all.
It's not.
No, the fun is the adrenaline. Like the where we rode.
But with those things,
yes, different.
I could walk faster.
No, you can't. That's what my brother thought.
Who had rides hard?
Listen, that's what my brother thought, because my brother's a sport bike guy.
You're chopping
and we went riding, and he's like, I've never seen anybody ride a Harley like that.
Yeah, no, he'll be dragging fucking pegs like around every.
It's fucking fun, man. I don't want to go slow. Look, I'm not saying it's as fast as a sport bike. Mm-hmm. I have a sport bike and I have a Harley. The sport bike is definitely way faster. It does everything 10 times better. But I don't know, 120 miles an hour is still 120 miles an hour. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if you're on a fucking Harley or if you're on a sport bike. If you're doing 120 miles an hour around a long sweeping corner, it's fucking cool. It's still an adrenaline rush, like one way or another.
There must be such a freedom to it, Fouad, like and a badassery. Like, you know, you look at a program like Sons of Anarchy, and you just feel like you're one of them.
You know what? I got over that. Like, I thought when I first bought
that's like temporary. Yeah.
When I first bought my Harley, I'm like, oh, this is really cool. I got a Harley.
Yeah, you find all the Harley gear, like Harley hats and Harley
keychains.
Then you realize that cool riders don't wear any of that. You know?
What did you pick in your bags? What do you store that? I always
for example, like this week
drugs?
We went. Listen, this week we're in Nevada, and we did 1,200 miles of riding, which in kilometers
crazy.
Kilometers is about 2,000 kilometers.
2,000, yeah.
So every day we went somewhere that was like, you know, a couple hours from our Airbnb. Like we went to Death Valley. That was a 3-hour ride just there. So 3 hours there, 3 hours back.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know. Is it going to get cold up in the mountain? Am I going to need water? Am I going to need something to eat? So you just take all your shit in your bags. You take extra riding gear. You take extra waters. You take extra food. Because I was going to
carton of cigarettes.
Yeah, a carton of cigarettes. So, you don't know, like I was going to rent a sport bike. The problem with the sport bike is there's nothing to put anywhere. So if
it was not yours, it was rented.
Yeah, when I travel, I just rent.
You got to wear a backpack the whole time, then, yeah.
Because I have 2 bikes here, but like I don't want to trailer them all the way to Nevada, right?
Yeah.
So I just fly there and then I rent a bike when I get there. I try to find a bike that's kind of like mine. But if I rent a sport bike and I get suited up for cold weather and then it's hot out, I have nowhere to put my shit.
Yeah.
So now I just got to wear it. And I didn't want to do that. So I was like, I'm going to get a Harley. That way, if I need to like bring warmer stuff or take off layers of clothing, I have places to put it and that kind of shit.
I mean,
and you get good.
Sorry, go ahead.
You get good equipment there, so it's really comparable to the bikes you have.
The bike I rented is almost it's not as good as mine, but it's pretty close.
But it's cool stuff.
Yeah. It was close.
I you rented almost exact same bike as yours.
Yeah. I just take my helmet and my gloves and like just my normal shit. I just pack it in my suitcase, take it with me.
And you go there, rent it, and you bring it back the same place you rented it.
Yep. There's a thing called rider share. It's the same thing as like
Turo.
I don't know if you know what Turo is, where you can rent a car off. So what it is, basically private citizens.
It's Airbnb.
It's Airbnb
for bikes.
Yeah. Airbnb for
versus hotels being like a dealership.
Yeah. So because you can go to like some places that actually like have a business and a storefront, but they charge more money. So this guy, they created this thing. It's like an Uber for renting motorcycles. Airbnb. What's that?
That's pretty cool.
I use Twisted Roads as well, which was about the same. That's what.
There's another one.
Here in Vegas, I use Twisted Roads. It's kind of same thing.
I feel bad for the guy.
How is it insured?
It's insured through the website, through the app.
Yeah, you just pay additional.
It's cheap though. Like the bike I rented in Vegas, we were there for 5 days. I had the bike. I think I paid like $400 plus insurance, like 400 with the insurance in, and I got the most premium insurance on the bike for like a week of a bike.
Yeah, everybody sets their own price. So like the Harley I rented was $1,000 for 5 days.
Yeah.
So I rented it.
But that's a much more expensive bike.
I feel bad for that guy though, because I don't think he realized that I was going to ride 1,200 miles on this bike. So it's unlimited miles. So I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it. Yeah. Now I'm really thinking.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Jason.
No, again, I always refer to games. There's a game called Days Gone, and it's post-apocalyptic, and it's just you on a bike, and you just go around the whole of America, and there's zombies everywhere, and you're on the back of a bike the whole time, you're fixing up your bike. And I'm just envisioning Fouad being the main character. Just on his back. You see it.
Fouad and the zombies.
Yeah, it's a really popular Sony game.
Shotgun on his back. You know?
Yeah. Days Gone. Yeah.
He's more the chainsaw guy, I think. You know, Fouad on the bike swinging the chainsaw.
Oh yeah.
I haven't. I have to upload some footage that I took on my Insta360 of the trip. But this fucking park, where this is at the end of the park, like when you come out the other side of it.
What a badass.
This park, I can't even tell you guys. I've never driven through anything like that in my life. You basically ride through an entire mountain region, and there's even like a tunnel in there. It's about 100-yard long tunnel that cuts right through the mountain.
Nice.
And it's fucking
impressive.
It's wild shit, man. It's wild shit. Anyway, I feel fortunate to be able to do that kind of shit. And
there's just something about scenery and air, and then pair that along with, again, I haven't been on a bike, but I can only imagine that you pair that with being on that bike, and that just adds even more to the whole experience. Because I know it's like just to walk through somewhere that is pretty and has that feeling of like nature.
Well, it's like when you ride through somewhere nice, it's so different than a car, because like you get the temperature changes, the smell. Like, you know, like when we drove through the redwoods, it's like the second you enter those big trees, it drops like 10 degrees, and it smells like that, like sauna, cedar, like and like the temperatures, because there's so much shade, it's so much colder. Like you feel all that you don't get in a car, you know.
I just want to read this real quick. Gregory Lewis says, just got Ian's new app. It's great stuff. Smoking cigarettes to get the whole experience, soon to be 41%.
Yeah, my app is out, so everyone go download it, please. And
all right, Ian. Before
congratulations with that one, Ian.
We keep going on about motorcycles.
I will start training again because of Ian's app.
Stefan's coming out of retirement because of Ian.
So, Ian, this is for people watching. Ian's app is now live.
Yep. So you can go there.
This is the website. Fitnetic, not phonetic. It's Fitnetic.
App. Apple and Google Play, and yeah, and then we're still doing new updates and adding new features all the time.
So tell me. I know you're explaining it here, but tell me briefly for people watching what this stuff
so
is.
basically what we have on there now is we have like a full logging system. So like if you're say you're someone more advanced and you want to just use it to like log your own workouts and keep tracking of your progress and your weights, and just like record your workouts, use it as a macro calculator. It's got a meal database and a barcode scanner and all that kind of stuff. It can track everything. If you're someone like a little more beginner or intermediate where you want some help designing the programs, I've written like a pretty extensive AI prompt for the nutrition and for the training that it feeds all your intake stuff through. And then it'll generate you meals that you can kind of plug and play as you like, and a training program that will kind of go through 4-week progressions. And then even within that, then we're going to do like, 2 suggestions week to week of the weight and progressive overload increases throughout that. So yeah,
let me
kind of use it for whatever you want. If you want it as a logging tool for your, meals and everything, if you're someone more advanced, kind of like some people will do with RP, or if you want it, if you're starting off and you need help with all those meals, and it'll give you actual like weight and gram suggestions of the meals, and you can plug it in. It'll add into your macros, or also with the training, it'll make a full program for you. But within that, we have a full database of the exercises. If you don't like an exercise, you can delete it out of there, add a new one in. You can move them around as you like, add more sets, add whatever you want. So yeah.
Let me ask you a couple questions. So I just downloaded an app which will remain nameless, just to track my food.
Yeah.
Can I just do that on your app? Can I just use it to track my food?
Yeah.
So when I go in the food database, does it have all like this app I'm using is like, it's not MyFitnessPal, it's something like that, but it has like when you click on the food, it gives you like all the different grocery store brands or whatever. Like,
yeah, so we have a pretty good database in there now. We want to make it better, especially for the internationals. Like it's pretty decent for North Americans, but obviously if you're like live in Poland or something, the food's a lot different. So it's mainly just a North American thing. There'll be some crossover, but it still does work in other countries. But you can also enter custom, like if say there's a lot of food in there, you can type the amount of food, enter the macros per 100 grams or 1 gram or whatever you want, and save it in there, and it'll be there for next time you need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we also have a barcode scanner, so you can like scan the barcode on it.
Oh, okay.
So it works pretty decent. But if it finds the item, it might not always have your servings, but you can adjust them and make everything perfect. But yeah, it has a database, so like you can type in Kirkland chicken, and it'll find Kirkland chicken in there, and you can kind of search. Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
Word is more about carrot cake and pizza.
Yeah,
I think it's all in there. Yeah.
Fuck you, Stefan. So, okay. I know on like apps like Chronometer and some of the other ones, like they get pretty detailed in what they track for your diet. How detailed is it? Like, will it track my water? Is it just tracking food? Is it tracking?
Right now we just have food in there. So like macronutrients, you're tracking all your food stuff. You can.
Is it tracking Is it tracking any micros or no? Like fiber?
For some things it will. If there's things out of the database, if you're entering them yourself, the form is just protein, fat, and carbs to keep it simple for people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to add all that in there. So give people the ability to do water, and kind of gauge all that kind of stuff. So like I said, we got a pretty good foundation on there that I think most people would be pretty happy with. If you want to use it for just a logging tool, or if you're someone more beginner and want a little help with the plan generation. And then, like I said, we're going to keep adding more features. So that's why we want as many people on there now. Test it out, see what you like, and if you have feedback for it, give it to us. We love feedback because this is our MVP product, right? So just like MyFitnessPal was when it started versus it is now, they're always adding features.
Yeah, they're going to get better. Yeah.
They evolve.
Yeah. So, we want feedback. So, people get on there and give us feedback. That's all great. And then, whatever features we hear people are asking for, we're going to try and add every single one of them, make it that this is an app that, people really, really, and everybody can use and want to use,
So I can track food. You can also give me, if I don't know fucking anything and I say
so when you do the intake,
let me ask the question.
Sorry.
There's people listening that don't know the question.
I know the question.
I know you know the question. There's people listening that don't know the question. So I'm 260 pounds. I'm a fat fuck. I don't know what to eat. I have no idea about protein, carbs, and fat. And I say I want to lose 30 pounds. If I just type that in, is it going to give me the proper diet?
Yeah. So when you go on the intake, our intake, like when you first get the app and go through it, is pretty extensive. It'll take you a good few minutes to get through there. And it's going to ask you everything from like your basic information, like age, sex, weight, all that kind of stuff, to then more specific with your goals, body parts you want to improve, all that kind of stuff, and kind of go through it. And from there, then, through the prompt that the AI that I've written, which is like long, it'll then generate what it needs for your macros, and then kind of build out and you can select how many meals you want. So if you want 1, or if you want 40 meals, whatever. I think we have 6 or 7. And then it'll give the distribution. So then when you go on there, it'll show like Iain's AI meals, and then it'll show the list of how many meals you had in the day, and you can just slide them into your macros, and then it'll take it away from your daily macros. So it'll have meals built out, like 200 grams of chicken, 200 grams of rice, whatever. And then if you want to adjust the meal at all, then you can go into the macro calculator and search from the database and add things from there.
So let me ask you this. Do these kind of apps, like when you're writing the AI, I know you did all the writing for it yourself. These kind of apps, do they take into consideration variety?
Yeah, we have a text box that you can literally write in dislikes, likes, everything. Because it is an AI, it can handle written language.
I know. Let me rephrase the question. So again, same scenario. I don't know, fuck all.
Yes, I understand
if I say give me a diet, is it going to give me enough variety in the diet that it spits out?
Well, one thing I specifically wrote in the prompt is to give X amount of variety for protein sources, carbohydrate sources, etc. So like that, it doesn't just give you 6 meals of chicken and rice.
Right.
I wanted people to have variety, but I also didn't want it to have too much variety. Say you're a pro bodybuilder that's eating 7 meals a day. I didn't want you to have to cook 7 protein sources a day.
Right.
Because that's just not practical to be eating like, whitefish, salmon, beef, elk, chicken, turkey. Like that's just impractical. So we limited it. So if you have 6 meals, you might get a maximum of like 3 or 4 protein sources. And if you have like 2 or 3 meals, you might get 2 protein sources. So we kind of made it based off of how many meals you select. It'll give you a reasonable amount of protein sources, but within that you can change it.
It would be cool, and I don't know if you guys already thought of this. It would be cool if you could tell it what you were doing when you started. Yes, I'm 260. I'm an amateur bodybuilder. Yeah. I have 8 years experience, and then it kind of knows what to do.
You can tell your experience level and all that kind of stuff, which does factor into the prompt if you're beginning, intermediate, advanced for everything, and it'll kind of use those to adjust your macros and the volume of training that it'll give you. We'll take those into consideration. So, and same thing, like on the intake, you can, if you want to, say you have an existing split that you're using, like say your coach has written a plan for you, you can go on there and like it'll give you. So say you're doing a non-cyclical split that doesn't fit in a 7-day window. You can go day 1, chest, day 2, back, day 3, or you can have it a Monday to Friday repeating and you can click all, so it'll have all the muscle groups, and you can click, okay, this day on Monday, I want chest, tris, and calves. On Tuesday, I want back, buys, and this. And then it also will select, you can put the time of day that you train. So say you train at 4:30 p.m. It knows, okay, you have 5 meals in the day. You're having 3 before training. Cool. 3 is your pre-workout meal. And it'll kind of function from there. So
that's awesome. Well, listen, anybody who wants to get the app, who wants to stop being a fat fuck like me, Fitnetic.
Inclusive carrot cake and pizza.
Yeah.
Fitnetic app. Fitnetic.app. Sorry.
Yeah, or you can go to my Instagram. The link's in the bio for there. That goes to our Instagram that has this linked as well. We have the Fitnetic Instagram page, which has all this as well. So, and like I said, everyone, feedback is warranted. So if you have stuff that you're like, hey, I'd really like to see this feature, just like Fouad said, if we could enter everything like that, we want all of it. We're not someone that thinking we have the perfect thing. We think we have a great product, but we want to improve it and make it so that you guys love it and that you want to use it forever, no matter what level you are. So get on there, and if you have feedback, send it to us, and we'll make sure that we get it cracking with everything you guys want. So,
well, I hope it fucking takes off, Ian. I know you're gonna.
Thank you.
You're gonna give it 100% because you do everything.
I'm happy that it's at least done, because I literally bootstrapped that myself. So it's. Yeah. I've been building that for a year, like out of my own pocket, which is not cheap. So I'm happy that it's like out in the world now.
Yeah. Good. Well, we'll keep promoting it, and fucking maybe I'll start using it myself.
Thank you.
Let me ask you one more thing about it before we go on. Is there an introductory price that's better for people, or is it just what's the cost of it?
So right now, I think we're about $10 US, which in that market of like these kind of apps is definitely one of the cheaper ones. And then if you pay for 6 months or a year up front, then there's discounting on that. Okay. We're also going to be doing an ambassador program on it. So if anyone is interested in doing this, definitely hit up the app page, the Fitnetic page. If you think that this is something.
Right here.
Ambassadors.
I can be an ambassador.
We're going to do it the same thing like any other, company you would work with, where you get a code. You can make commission.
Well, I don't work for codes. Like I have to get paid.
He's like, give me a salary. I'm there.
Give me some time here, okay? Let me get out of the red. Let me get out of the red first, and then we'll talk about it. You
know? No, but
he still has his IFB Pro status, so he can earn that fucking money.
I kept my Pro status, right.
So, but yes, if anyone's interested in that, we definitely hit us up, and we're going to start compiling names for that. We want to get a good ambassador program, influencer program built. That's obviously good for our marketing for us to get more people promoting it and eyes on it, but it also can be good for you guys to make a little extra money if you're pushing it. Just like any brand, you get people on the app, you're going to get paid for it. And we're going to do a decent commission. Like we'll do a 15-20% commission. So if you guys are hustling the app out there and getting people to sign up for the year and stuff, you can make some good money out. Like my buddy Julian that does with John Jewett's app, he's making like hella bankroll selling that app. So there's definitely good potential out there if you're someone that's interested in that.
I'm actually dead serious.
Cool, sure. It's a good. It's concept's good, and there's.
Well, no, because I literally just started. I'll be honest with you, I never use these kind of fucking apps.
No, there's no time like the present.
But because of some recent events, I'm like, okay, I gotta start tracking everything.
Yeah.
So I started like 2 weeks ago. But I'm like, I didn't know yours was food. I thought it was mostly just training.
No, we got both.
I didn't know it was everything.
Yeah.
All in one, man.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it after the show. I'm interested.
There's some serious chat going down after.
I'm not.
Come back.
Anyway, James,
thank you for the shout out, everyone. Your support, I appreciate it. And
of course. James, what's going on with you this week?
Cool. Same old.
What's daddy duty like? Is Yannicka making you work?
Stomach's sticking right out now, mate. Fuck.
Is it really?
Yeah. There was like a few days ago where she's like, my stomach feels like it's popped this morning. And I looked at her and I was like, I actually don't know, bro. I don't know.
16 must be, I think 16, 17, something about that.
Yeah, something like that. But it has just, she's just kind of let it go now and just embracing. So I'm kind of like, yeah, sweet. But she's in Norway for a few days, actually. So I've got peace and quiet till Tuesday. So I'm at home on my own, which is really nice.
Is it crazy when you see your belly sticking out, though?
Yeah, but you know what?
Look at Fouad's eyes, how he walks. Yeah, looks like a pervert.
The tragic.
You like banging her when her belly's getting big?
Oh no, it makes me quite horny, to be fair.
It does, eh?
Yeah, there's definitely this weird thing that when you know someone's pregnant, you get even more like.
Yeah, the pheromones.
You sniff out a bit more, like.
Yeah, it's the pheromones. Yeah.
Fucking.
Okay,
can I impregnate you even more?
Okay, can I please?
You planted your seed in there,
then you like have two.
Can I please clarify? Can I please clarify? Stefan's the pervert. I wasn't thinking of his. I wasn't thinking of it sexually. I was like, I just imagine
all a bit pervy. Come on, lads.
I imagine if I got a girl pregnant, the second her stomach started showing, I would be like, I don't know. No, yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Alien.
Fuck this shit. Yeah. No, you would be like, not to sound fucking cheesy, but you'd fall more in love.
Yeah, well, we can do, and I know I would, and only sad, obviously, when you're in prep, and unfortunately, you're in preparation for a show.
Anything. Yeah,
you don't really feel, lay in bed hungry at night. You don't really feel, and I wish I was a bit more.
Yeah.
Feel, but I would rather it be now than later. I sit there and I contemplate, and I'm like, I'm trying to build a very good life for everybody.
Yeah,
and my focus is. Obviously, you'd want to be present for every single moment, as present as you can be. But life's not always going to be that way. And currently, I'm balls deep in challenging myself to try and be the best I can be at something. And I'm just being a bit gentle with myself, not being too stressed that I'm not as nice as I'd like to be, like not as lovey as because there's a part of me that, dude, if I wasn't getting ready for a show right now, man, I'd probably be like cuddling her every day, embracing her, thinking so many different emotions because I wouldn't be blocked by all the things that we're doing.
Yeah.
But I value that I at least can see that. And I do talk to, friends and stuff that are in the situation or have been in the situation. And I'm just trying my best. That's what we can do, isn't it?
Well, I actually didn't factor that in, James. I'm sure, I don't know, Ian, if you're the same, but when I'm competing, I'm just shut off from the world. I'm like, I isolate myself completely. So.
Well, that's why I made the room. That's why I made this room looks different every time I'm on, because it's just been my project of my zen. And honestly, most nights, I just lock myself in here.
There just doesn't become like a lot of emotional bandwidth left over. It's like your mind is so like hyper focused on one thing that it like consumes so much of your, because it's not like something where it's just a small part of your day. Like where you go to practice once a day, it's like every meal, posing, you know, like you carry your work around with you all day. Like your physique is your work. So it's literally on you all the time. So it's the emotional bandwidth that like that takes up can be so much. And then obviously you have the interference of drugs and deficit and calories and all these things that, you know, kind of change your, you know, mental capacity and thought processes and stuff too. So, you know, it definitely makes sense. I mean, for sure, we've all felt it. You know?
And when you compile on top of that if you genuinely do want to do well at something,
yeah,
that changes everything. You know, you can do something just to do it, and then when you go home, you can switch off.
No, there's a difference. Yeah,
yeah. When you're we're all very driven people, and when you're driven,
we don't get
it doesn't leave you.
Yeah, you don't.
I can remember my last prep. My daughter was, I think, 4, something like that, and I really can remember that because it's a little bit like James said. And she was coming and asking if I could play something with her or do something with her, and you just sit there and try to think about it, and then you say no.
Yeah.
Because
there is a sad reality to the
just,
nature of.
And I think that was really, and even if I would have forced me, it wouldn't have been possible.
It wouldn't have felt right as well because it would have been forced. And that's why I think all you can do in this situation is do your best so that you can provide such a fucking good future, man.
Yeah.
Because there'll be, you know, and then I can say sorry. You know, I can say sorry that I wasn't the best I could have been at a certain time. But I'm hoping, you know, that I'll be able to give such opportunities and good life that I can at least say to myself, it's okay.
You know? I mean, look, this is
really
is,
how. Sorry.
Can I just say, like, in my whatever, in my opinion, this is a man's job. The man's job, and this is probably an old school way to think, but the man's job is not to sit around. An Arab way to think, yes.
I'm Arabic. For sure.
The man's job is not to fucking sit around. I mean, look, it's nice to sit around and cuddle and whatever. The man's job is not to sit around and cuddle his wife and fucking act like a simp. The man's job is to go out and make the fucking money and bring it home. So that the wife can have the baby and everything is taken care of and she doesn't have to worry. So that's what you're doing. I'm just responding because somebody said something like, James, what if this is the only pregnancy?
I know, but they're not in my position.
But he said, what if it's the only pregnancy she ever has and you miss it? And it's like, your job as a man is to kind of miss it. Your job as a man is to go fucking make the money, take care of your fucking family. And if that means you have to miss out on cuddling time that day, that's the fucking job.
For sure, man. And that's what bodybuilding is all encompassed throughout the whole process of getting to where you're trying to get to. Because if it wasn't a daughter or if it wasn't a son, it would have been an event. It would have been a family, a funeral. I've missed funerals because of bodybuilding.
Right.
But I could say it's not only bodybuilding because when my wife was pregnant, that was my bodybuilding absence time when I was director of a hospital.
Right.
I was in the building process of a hospital and worked just 100 hours a week. If I think it's more if you are a focus-driven person.
Yeah.
Which tends to a goal, no matter if it's bodybuilding, job or whatever else. You're just going after that.
Yeah, I
the goal.
Yeah, I in no way meant that it was just bodybuilding. I meant a man's job in general.
Yeah, no, for sure.
There's look, I have a brother in business. He travels a lot. I'm sure he's missed a lot of his kids' things here and there.
Yeah.
But their family is very well off. They live in a very nice home. They have all the things they could ever want. They have their college paid for. So sometimes it's the guy's job to not be around and take care of the family.
Go
ahead.
No, so that is kind of how I feel because I'm like, suffer a little bit now and reap the benefits later. Like,
right.
If I can create financial stability now, then later I can be so present because I've put myself in a position to be so. Well, and that's the driving force. That's always been the driving force.
Think about this too. Let's play the other scenario through all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you decided I'm going to sit around and cuddle with Yannicka because that's what I want to do. And then you bomb at your fucking shows and you don't make any money and your life is how guilty are you going to feel about yourself afterwards?
If that happened, then I'd have to go and work in, the supermarket like my mum did and do 2 jobs. And I couldn't forgive myself. I didn't spend, none of us spent all of these years in this particular field without the vision of creating something better for ourselves.
I got to read this comment because this is part of the thing that
I just read it.
This is the thing that people don't understand. Okay.
Yeah,
they won't get it. I know.
He wrote, "LOL, bro. He's a bodybuilder. He's home all day, goes to the gym for 2 hours a day, and he's hungry." Okay. What that person that wrote that doesn't understand is when you are hyper focused on something, when you're hungry, when your hormones are all over the place, when your anxiety level, because this is something that means so much to you, is at the peak of its height, you can't experience emotional things like a normal person. You become so hyper driven and hyper focused on this one goal that everything else just has to fade away so that you can focus on this one thing. And it's like
the next person comes down to balance, which we've had this conversation a million times, but in reality, at this level with things, there kind of isn't a balance. Like balance is kind of gone, you know, like you have to kind of decide what you want to set your priorities and where your energy balance wants to lie. And yeah, you can have balance in your life if you want to be less than stellar. But I think when you're talking about this level, it is very all encompassing. I was going to say, like, I've had this conversation with Chris too. Like, you know, obviously Chris having a kid, and, you know, Chris's schedule is busier than we can imagine. Yeah. But he talks about in the same capacity. It's like, I'm doing this now and I'm missing a lot of, like, you know, the beginning of my child's life and, you know, the pregnancy and all these things. And because, I mean, he has months where it's like one day a month where he's like home, you know, and he's like, but this is building a life where I will have so much time and so much to give to this child when this is all built. You know, like, look at what he's built for himself now. And, you know, you give it another year or two, he could not work for the rest of his life. And he's like, I built this now. That's obviously not the norm. But the goal is the same, to, you know, try and build something for your family and build that support system and that structure that, you know, will be there for your child for the rest of their life. Like you said, with your, you know, your brother, with, you know, having college paid for, being able to help them in their life in the position that you want to be able to, you know, I think is not everyone will agree with it, but the people that do understand it will feel that, that responsibility, you know.
I have to read this comment.
Can I say something quickly before you read this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I also have to express that it's so difficult for anybody that isn't genuinely trying to be the best in the world at something to understand what it takes.
Oh, yeah.
Like this ain't a joke. Like, we laugh and we say, you know, I say, yeah, that this guy kicked my ass, blah blah blah, and I'm not as good as this guy. But inside, every one of us that's been on the fucking stages we've been on, we're fighting to be number one. And if we get it or not, it doesn't mean we're fighting any less. Yeah. Every single fucking decision in life, every single thing is orientated towards trying to be the best we can be. And when you care about something that much, it's very hard to manage even some of the basic things in life sometimes, because it's overwhelming. And, you know, someone, you know, people in chat could be like, yeah, it's just a bodybuilder, it's not that hard, blah. That's fine. That's fine. If you switch positions, I mean, if you were where I am, I guarantee you'd be on the other side of the coin in your discussions. So there's no point trying to entertain people that aren't in your position, because you can't explain where you are. It's so easy to say. I would never speak that I could understand the shoes of someone who's in a totally different field than me, because I don't understand it. You know, someone that works, you know, like in medicine, like Stefan said, 100 hours a week. I couldn't conversate on that, because
but it's the same on every high level thing. If you are an artist, people think, okay, it's funny. You just need to go in the evening to the concert and sing and make your clown, and that's it. But that's fucking bullshit. If you have connection or getting to know superstars, it doesn't matter in every aspect of life. That's a 100% dedicated life. Most people just can't imagine how much work is in that.
And look, I have worked with clients and have friends that have tried to balance it, and they never get where they want to in any of them. You know, people that have kids and they're like, I'm going to, you know, be 100% present and try and be the best bodybuilder, or I'm going to try and be this and this. And they're trying to juggle all these things at some capacity, and they're all suffering a little bit, you know? Right. And it's, and when it comes to a pursuit like bodybuilding, which is so finite in its timeline, you know, you can't bodybuild till you're 65 years old. Like, it's not like a career where you go to the office and you can work until retirement. Like, James will have a life after bodybuilding in the near future, you know?
And how good you want it to be. And that's all it's about now.
Exactly. Like, this isn't something that's 30 years down the road for James, where he's playing for his retirement at 65. This is something that's in the next 3 to 10 years, you know, 1 to 10 years, who knows, you know? So
there's two things I want to touch on. One, the reason, James, that people think they have the reason they think that they have a voice when it comes to this is because they all go to the gym.
Yes.
But what they don't understand is trying to be the best in the world versus just going to the gym is two totally fucking different things. So that's one.
It's not even the same world.
The second thing is this guy, Sestak94, says it takes 5 minutes to cuddle, bro. You don't cuddle for 6 hours. I use the term cuddle just flippantly. I'm not talking literally about cuddling. I'm talking about being with your wife all the time, taking care of her,
emotionally open,
being emotionally there for her, being at her beck and call. Like, I'm not talking.
That's the word I use. Bandwidth. It's like
I'm not talking about just the 5 minutes of cuddling. I'm talking about the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's also this, isn't it? The physical act. Like this person's thinking about the physical act. Yeah, I do cuddle Yannicka. I do that. What I'm trying to explain is that it's horrible when there's an absence in sensation and feeling towards it, because bodybuilding does that to you when you're in the midst of it. So, God, if I have a daughter here, you think I'm not going to pick her up and cuddle her? Of course I am. But what I'm saying is the sacrifice that's being made is that I'm not going to feel what I could feel if I wasn't doing what I'm doing. But what I'm doing right now is going to open the opportunity later for me to have more of those moments.
Okay, wait. He just commented again, so I'm gonna explain this, and then we'll move on. There are people at work in construction 12 hours away from home, and they still cuddle their wives 5 minutes. Okay, again, stop using the word cuddle, because that was just a word I used. This is what I'm talking about. The point originally started when I said you can see your wife's belly. Okay, what I meant by it is this: if I could see my wife's belly, I immediately have a rush of emotion, thinking to myself, "Oh my God, that's my fucking kid," and it's gonna want me to. I'm going to want to be next to her, take care of her, emotionally attached to her, more so than I would normally. What James was expressing is when you are hyper-focused on a goal, when you're overly hungry, when you're anxious about a competition, when you're on hormones, when all of these things come into the perfect storm, you don't have the emotion to give. It's not about the 5 minutes of cuddling. You'll never understand until you do it. You actually don't have the emotion to. You're like you're holding this person. You're trying to emit this emotion that you know you want to admit, but you just can't. It's just not there. And I don't know if, like, James, if you feel that way too. Like,
no, it's exactly. I couldn't explain it any better.
I remember being in a prep and I had a family member die.
You don't feel nothing.
I couldn't cry. I even said to myself, "Why am I not fucking crying? I should be fucking crying right now." And I couldn't fucking feel anything.
Dude, I know the feeling. I said, I watched my mum pass away. I was there in her house. I was bodybuilding throughout the whole thing. I didn't shed a tear. I didn't feel anything. It was almost a sitcom going on in my life. I couldn't really feel any of the occurrence that was happening. It was odd. You know, the minute I say this all the time, the minute she got taken out in the ambulance, I went to the gym. And it wasn't even, it's just because I didn't feel much. You know, it was very obviously, and that's all circumstantial to do with, like, you know, the presence of, like, say, using certain compounds and where you are in preps, because I was still prepping and stuff, you know. But again, you know, I don't think it's a good thing. I'm not saying I'm proud of being that way at all. It's not great. But unfortunately, when you're trying to achieve very, very high level in things, sometimes there's going to be pros and cons. And one of the cons, unfortunately, to bodybuilding at such a high level is there's going to be periods of the year where you're just not there emotionally. And that's all we're trying to explain.
Okay, I'm gonna
simple as fuck.
I'm gonna do this again because he commented one more time. Don't you think the construction worker would like to do that too? There are a lot of people that go through a lot more than show prep. Okay, again,
well, the construction worker. Again, no. Let me say something.
Yeah,
we all have choices when we're young. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this. I got my fucking ass in the gym. Yeah, and I started training my ass off, and I said to myself, I'm gonna make this work. I used to do physical jobs as well at the same time. I mean, long days. I'm talking like 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. hitting metal at factories, yeah? I said, fuck that. I'm going to do bodybuilding at the same time, and I'm going to make myself so fucking good at it, it's going to create an opportunity. Okay? Yeah. The rest is history. That's all I'm going to say, yeah? So I'm not going to go too deep into it, but the whole fucking thing about, but don't you wish? You're in control of your life, guys. Yeah. All of us are in control of life. And if opportunities come your way, it wasn't by chance. It's because you fucking chose to lock in on something when you were young enough to make it a possibility and a dream. I'm not going to have to explain that no more.
The part that this person doesn't understand is I'm not talking about physical acts. So he's still talking about the physical. Like, don't you think the construction worker would like to do that too? There are a lot of people who go through a lot more than show prep. Okay, the construction worker goes to work, and when he comes home, his job is done.
This person sounds bitter towards bodybuilding, and he probably doesn't like the fact that he didn't. This person doesn't like the fact that they're not a professional and got contracts and lives a good life because they didn't sacrifice earlier.
All right,
sorry, but that's all I'm going to say. Because you sound like a hater. You sound like someone that
I think
don't like that people have
I
actually
will
done
end
something.
that discussion, I think, with one sentence which will explain it. If it's the construction worker which tries to be the best construction worker at the planet, he will most probably have the same problem.
That's it. That's exactly what we're talking about.
Maybe
the guy
who
wants to own the construction company that's the biggest construction company in the fucking world, that guy's not seeing his family.
Yeah, no. That's the thing, you know. So
that's the fucking point. Okay, now we hit it on the head. All right. Thank you, Stefan, for finally putting a fucking bow around it. We needed that little bit. Okay.
I'm not an arsehole for saying that, though, am I? What I just said either. Like, you've got choices in your life. And anyone I know with fucking anything, when they were young enough to, they either had a choice, sit there and keep doing what they're doing, or fucking take risks.
Yeah. Yeah. You know? Okay. Stefan, how are you today? How are you this week? How are your clients? Who's the laziest client you have? I want to know.
The laziest client.
Who's the laziest?
The one who doesn't write, and so I don't give a fuck.
Come on, tell me the truth. Who's the laziest client? Let's give people something to talk about. Stefan says Regan is his laziest client.
What the fuck are you talking
I just used
it. No, I think all the guys who get their job done and are good in the sport they do are not lazy. They're just guys who are different.
All right, let me rephrase it then.
Yeah.
Which bodybuilder do you coach that pays attention to detail the least? And who pays attention to detail the most? And don't say James because he's sitting here. You gotta say somebody who's not here.
And it's really that's really hard to call because, you know, everybody sees different details and everybody has effort in different specific areas of our sport. There are people who completely focus on posing, for example, and miss details in nutrition.
I see.
There are people who extremely focused in training.
Okay.
And they miss the focus on posing. There are people who miss focus on mobility, but do everything else right. So I would say when you put everything in, every really good bodybuilder is focused and pays attention to detail, but all in a different balance.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one question. I think I know how you're going to answer it, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Since you said that, and since you coach so many top level athletes, which aspect do you think is the least detrimental to the overall look? Meaning, if a guy is hyper detailed on posing, does that help him more than the guy who's hyper detailed in his diet?
So what is the least or the most important?
What is the most important? Because like people
I think training.
So so okay, so this is what
I think I really think training.
But you
even
can't,
if you are super genetic,
yeah.
I think training or effort into training, learning that, getting skilled in training is something.
Don't start. I saw two guys playing ping pong today. I'm like, these motherfuckers have skill.
No, I think training is the thing which will benefit most people.
You know what's crazy? You said that because you can't out-train a bad diet. I've always considered nutrition the most important part of bodybuilding.
Yeah, but
but it's about building muscle. Actually, it's about building muscle. You know.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying
genetic freaks we know that are wasting it because they don't train like they should.
Okay, but hold on. I'm not going to die on this hill. I'm not saying this isn't an argument I want to make. Like I'm sure of it. I've always just thought that nutrition is because you see guys training. Some guys train like shit. Some guys train with perfect form. They all train hard, but they don't train perfect. Whereas I think with nutrition, unless you're genetically gifted for being lean or whatever, like you have to have some level of.
But nutrition doesn't have so much variety, you know. Actually, nutrition comes down, I would say, to willpower.
Yes, I would say that. Yeah, after you have the knowledge, you mean.
Yeah, but it's not that complicated, actually.
No, and you're following a
coach. But you could say that same. You could say the same thing about training, though. I could say
there are huge differences.
Listen, listen.
No, there are huge differences.
We both know. Look, I'll use myself. My training form is like 7 out of 10. I still got to 300 pounds and 260 on stage. So like, you know what, Ian, don't bring that up. They did a comparison of me and you, and I won. And Chat GPT has you 9th in Canada and me 3rd.
Well, if you yes, but if you reprompt it properly, it puts me 2nd and you 7th.
Oh, you have to ask it enough questions. That's why.
Yes.
if you manipulate Chat GPT, then you win.
No, if you ask it the right questions, you know.
Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is we have seen bodybuilders that have great form, and we've seen bodybuilders that have subpar form. And as long as the training intensity is hard enough,
yeah, sure,
they put on the mass, right? So I feel like you could say the same thing about training that you're saying about nutrition. It's not that difficult.
It's for sure difficult as nutrition, because nutrition just needs willpower, because the knowledge of you should eat that much protein and you should eat that much carb, and actually that was it.
I think that's, I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's really a simplistic way. Like, willpower is a very hard thing for a lot of people.
Yeah, but either you have it or you don't.
Like if you ask people, I bet you if you took a survey,
yeah.
And I've seen this throughout my career, so it's anecdotal.
Yeah.
It's anecdotal, but I'll say I've come across a number of guys that train their fucking ass off that are huge, that are like, I can't bodybuild because I just can't eat the way you guys eat. Like, there are more people that can train the way we train versus people that will eat the way we eat.
No, I think there is a correlation in genetic gifted people who really grow fast and good, which don't want or can't bring the effort of eating correctly.
Say that again.
I think there is a correlation of people who easy grow muscles and have a huge potential in muscle growing, and it's quite easy for them.
Right.
With the fact that they don't see it that strict with their nutrition.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You're saying it's like it's a correlation, not causation. Like it's an accident.
Yeah.
Huh. Ian, what do you think? Stop texting.
I'm not texting.
Well, are you ChatGPTing me and you?
No, I'm reading the comments as you go.
Oh, okay. What do you think about this? Do you think training and nutrition are equal parts to bodybuilding? Do you think training is the most important? What do you think?
I think being very elite at training is more difficult, because like I do agree that it just comes down to willpower with nutrition. I think if you train really hard and you learn how to be good with your training, that'll generally transfer to being decent with your nutrition, because that willpower, I think, is kind of a universal skill that kind of comes across both, you know? I do think that
I don't agree with that.
I think more guys are leaving, more top guys at least, are leaving more on the table with their training than they are their nutrition. You know, I think we get good guys that, you know, they might, fuck up some meals here and there, whatever. They fucking cheat here and there. That I don't think has as much of an impact on the total of their career, with them just training like lazy sacks of shit, you know?
Still having weak backs, for example, you know,
exactly.
never solving the problem.
Yeah.
James?
Shut
up, Stefan. I'm not, listen, I already said to you at the start of this, I'm not picking a side. I'm just curious because I kind of see it both ways. But James, go ahead.
I see it both ways for sure.
In bodybuilding, I think I've seen more people get away with having slightly less quality nutrition but training savage and do well at shows than the people I've seen eat really clean and train like pussies. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of show winners who are a little bit bad on their diet, but they train like animals. So they kind of almost probably overburn calories, get away with nutrient partitioning a little bit better, get in pretty good shape.
James.
Yeah. James. I'm talking about like
James. I can literally think of like, and I won't name any names.
No, names.
But I can think of like at least 5 bodybuilders that don't train that fucking hard that are elite.
But for sure. I'm saying what I've experienced growing up in the field I was in, the bodybuilders I was around. I knew quite a few that would overeat, you know, their peanut butter. They're having too much, blah 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 blah. But they'd still win a show, and it's because they did train hard. But then, I've seen the opposite as well.
I honestly think it's fucking even.
Yeah, because just like you said, you can think of 5 guys. I can also conversely think of 5 guys that are meticulous with their nutrition, but then I see them train. I'm like, this is fucking pathetic.
Boring,
Yeah,
boring
but
as
yeah,
fuck.
I know that. But those guys
And
I've seen are some of them are at the top.
Well, not at the top. I think some of those guys you can make it so far because you have elite genetics and you're getting stimulus and you're good with your nutrition. But I think
I want to hear the names,
level,
Ian,
those
because
guys are all training really hard.
There's definitely names because he's like some of these guys are at the top. So he's incurring that there's some top 10 Olympian who trains like a fucking pussy.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you this, and I'm not going to name a name, but I'll tell you this.
No.
I trained.
Name nationality.
I trained with a Mr. Olympia, a former Mr. Olympia. Not our current Mr. Olympia. So
if you scientific nutrition,
only
Brandon.
Okay,
only one time.
Only one time, but there's also videos, so I know it's not like a random like one-off day, right? I trained with the former Mr. Olympia that it was subpar training, but he looked fucking phenomenal, like
there
incredible.
There is definitely genetic anomalies out there, but that isn't the commonplace factor
Yeah.
here. We're talking about most common factor in terms of success. And yeah, if we're going to talk about the genetic outliers, then yeah, of course, there's guys that can, there's the Michael Lockett's of the world who can eat fucking McDonald's and train like nothing, and they still are winning pro shows.
I'm not talking about those guys.
Well, you are, because Mr. Olympia is like that. 99. A lot of
the
ones that are training like that are genetic anomalies.
Okay, wait a minute. You know what? I'm going to ask you this question, and we'll all maybe we shouldn't do that.
Just ask it.
We should, man.
I'll decide if I answered it.
It's okay.
I can ask the fan because he's autistic, so he can get away with it.
Oh.
Well, just ask the question. We'll see if we'll answer it.
Okay, out of the most modern Olympia winners, right?
Yeah.
Take Dorian to today.
Yeah.
How many Olympians would you consider hard, or maybe I'll reverse it. How many Olympians would you consider did not train extremely hard?
No, but look at the greatest bodybuilders that we talk about. Like Ronnie Coleman is known for his training. Dorian Yates known for his training.
He's also known for his meticulous eating.
Who? Ronnie Coleman?
Yes.
Yeah, but he was also putting fucking cheese sauce.
That was allowed. That was allowed. That was part of his
diet. Mr. Casey
hold
Barbecue.
On a minute. Hold on a minute. This is a fact. I had Chad Nichols on my podcast. I asked him that exact question. Chad had accounted for those calories in his diet.
Yeah. Look, I'm not doubting.
And actually, Chad said Ronnie was a guy that didn't even realize he could cheat on his diet. That's how crazy he was.
This is why Ronnie was as good as he was, though, because you had the greatest genetics combined with the hardest training combined with the meticulous nutrition. So it created the most, the best bodybuilder that we probably will ever see.
But I think he's a perfect example of how you can outwork everything.
Yes.
Why do you say that, though? Because he didn't outwork everything. He did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, but the intensity combined with the strength and combined with doing it in such a consistency.
I mean, most people would fall apart. Most people would fall apart.
Yeah. I'm not saying
that's crazy.
But I'm not saying you're wrong about that. What I'm saying is his nutrition was just as meticulous as his training.
Yeah, but I think the possibility of having barbecue sauce, having cheese, having that stuff, even if it's planned, was a result of how he worked.
Well, yeah, because he was burning so many calories with his training. Sure. Yeah, that he had to have. Like, it didn't affect him.
Yeah, because he was a motherfucking killer.
Yeah, I agree with that. But that's what I'm saying is I don't think one is more important than the other, I guess, is where I'm landing.
Yeah, no,
to be at the best, to be at the top level, I think they are very important to a similar degree. But what I'm seeing is I think from the guys that I know that are already pros, that are guys that are, or even not, guys that are, I see at the gym, I see kids all the time that are like so locked in with their meals, but then I see them at the gym and how they train. I'm like, bro, you have no idea how much harder these guys are doing it.
But can
like
I tell you
how much better I could make you in immediately by just putting you in my mind or James's mind of like how you train. Everything else is there, but the one missing factor versus I know guys where their nutrition is so-so, but they train like absolute fucking mutants and they make really good progress,
That whole thing you're talking about is Instagram's fault.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It is. You know what it is? It's every time you see a guy slanging and banging weights, you see a slew of fucking shit comments. Oh, you don't know what you're doing. Oh, your form is bad. So the guy that doesn't have a lot of bodybuilding experience sees that and goes, oh, well, I got to train like this guy over here. Well, this guy over here might be training slow and meticulous. he may be a professional that knows how to feel slow and meticulous.
There also can be both. You can train meticulously and train insanely intense. Like, it doesn't have to be one or the other. But like you're saying, because especially the world right now on Instagram, things are so divisive. It's like you're either this way or you're this way. If they see this one guy getting roasted and this guy saying, I hope people, it's like, this is so good, then they're like, I got to go this way. You know?
But look, I'll give you a perfect example. I remember talking to Justin about this. So we all know Justin Shire's training is like very slow, very meticulous, very perfect form. Like he's very locked in about how he does things. And Justin even said to me, people will send me videos showing that they're training like I am.
I get this all the time too.
But they're using half the weight. They're not going to failure. They look like they're not even fucking struggling. So what I'm saying to you is Instagram has basically taught people slow and meticulous is the way to go. And they forgot the intensity.
I get these DMs all the time of people being like, hey, can you check out my form on this barbell row or dumbbell row or press? And I'll be like, yeah, your form looks awesome, but like you had 8 more reps there, you know?
Yeah, your intensity looks like shit.
And it's weird because it's kind of like with, I don't know, again, I'm using an analogy like of a car. You can get a lot of models that have the same outer shell. What's going on under the hood?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like on the outside, in passing, I'm watching you do your thing and it's like, yeah, that looks like what I do. But what's the fucking potential underneath?
But that's just one thing, you know, the things you can see from the outside. Oh, okay, that's fucking non-intense. The second thing is, how is really the contraction quality, you know? And that has nothing to do with speed or explosion. The fibers need to be contracted.
Right.
And if you can do that, that's fucking going insane intense. Or if you're not able to contract it as it should be contracted, you're a fucking pussy who can't lift the weight correctly to give a growth stimulus.
Well, yeah, because intensity, the only thing that's really matters in intensity is the intensity of the contraction. So if you can look the same as someone else, but if the contraction isn't intense in the actual, then it means nothing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Fouad, question.
1 second. I want to show you something.
Found something.
Look at
I
this
really wanted to ask.
I was showing us this. I saw this.
Look at the skill level on these two. Check this shit out.
The guy with the red shirt could be me.
I think it is you. I think it is you.
These guys could be any guy off the street physically. So, but it is skill. You're right.
Look at the skill level of skill. These fucking that hand-eye coordination. The fucking it's insane. I find stuff like this fascinating. Like, how did you practice that this much to become this good at this fucking thing? Like,
every 7-year-old Chinese boy is able to do that.
I know.
They're fucking good at it.
Don't be racist.
It's just 2 white guys. The Asians aren't even allowed to compete here because 4-year-olds would be beating them. You know?
I'm sorry, Stefan. What were you going to ask me? I apologize.
Have you ever trained with Phil?
No, never had the opportunity.
I haven't either. No.
I know a few people.
Are you trying to guess what I was talking about?
No, not Phil, because I find something fascinating about Phil, because he's really only one of the few bodybuilders who was able to bring a weak or not that dominant body part that much up in his
talking about his back.
Yeah. You know, that's something which is insane. Have you ever seen something like that in that quality?
No, but I'm going to say this, and this is by no means taking away from, because his back is phenomenal, and what he did to bring it up was phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. I think there's a difference between a lagging body part and a genetic body part that is a problem.
Yeah, sure. You can have high insertions or something like that. It could be genetically.
But I don't just mean that. I mean, like, if you look at, we'll take Johnny Jackson. Johnny Jackson did high volume with Branch Warren. Johnny Jackson did 800-pound squats, so he did the weight he was supposed to do. He did everything he could do, and his legs would only grow to a certain size.
Yeah, but the point, Johnny Jackson is a good example, okay? The structure of his quads is as the structure of his quads is. Not beautiful because he doesn't have a sweep. The only chance for his legs would have been to build immense adductors.
But this is what I'm saying. If you have
to give more size of the legs, the same as Paco Bautista did.
Right.
If you take a look, because his quads were purely shit, but his legs were just insane because he compensated with other muscle groups.
So this is kind of, I guess we're saying the same, and you're right. I guess I am talking about insertions. There is a difference between a body part that is genetically there, but you haven't built it, versus a genetically inferior body part.
Yeah, Phil was A.
Yeah, Phil had the insertions, he had everything. He just needed to learn how to train it.
But I think in the most cases of modern bodybuilding, it's A.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I know a lot of people say that, like, oh, that guy, if I could, you know how many times I've heard, oh, if I could just get my hands on that bodybuilder, I could teach him how to...
I definitely don't mean that, because it's a skill, okay?
Yeah.
It's a skill. No, it's maybe not a skill, it's a talent to learn really that correct movement for that body part. And that's also nothing which can a coach do, because the movement, you know, when you need to learn as a racing driver to drive the perfect line, I can tell you the perfect line, but you still need to drive it.
Right.
If you can't drive it, you can't do it. And the same is for that. If you are not able to use the right fibers, I can give you tips for the right fibers, but the movement must be done by yourself. And if you are not capable to do it, you are fucked.
Right.
So I think, especially when it comes to the back, especially when it comes to the underdevelopment of the lat,
I mean, back, and I think
it's really mostly A and not B.
I don't know about that though, because like when I see guys like,
there are guys where you see the tendon and you see there is no muscle. You see where the tendon goes, but there is no muscle because it's all upper back dominant, for example.
Like a key.
But when the upper back dominance is that big, how should you get so many steps back to get your lats involved in the movement? It's just a super hard.
You've trained yourself a certain way for such a long time. It's so hard to rewrite the process.
And that's why I'm so fascinated with Phil, because he built up his lats like crazy.
But I don't think Phil was training long enough.
Maybe
to the point where he built such an imbalance that it was hard to correct. You got to remember,
Phil, that could be because Phil, everything went so fast.
Yeah, like Phil turned pro, and then he was he was at the top like fucking 4 years later. So it wasn't a long enough time to develop such an imbalance in the rear delt and the upper back and the traps and big huge arms that took over the movement in the bicep. So I don't think he developed enough of an imbalance that all of a sudden he couldn't fix the lagging body part. I think that's the biggest problem, is a lot of these guys, they get to a point after 10 years of training or 50 years of training where they have an imbalance, but everything else is so developed and the mind muscle connection is so strong they can't. I guess
you need to get that step. You need to get that steps back
early on.
It's unfortunate because the biggest reason that this happens to us is ego. Gym lifts. It's that we're in a gym and that we have a movement that on camera in today's time looks good, and we know we can pull a lot of weight or do and we stick to it.
And the same is that front delt and chest problem. You know, the huge front delts and the no chest. Yeah. And that's the funny thing, because people always then think the training split is something which solves that. Or the frequency is something which solves that. No, it's not. There is a problem in the kind of movement, and that's really a super hard task to learn it. And that's where bodybuilding is getting a lot of skill involved in it.
Well, this is why I love progressive overload, but you have to understand that some of us aren't ready to progress those lifts, because progression is not at all costs. Progression should be with systematic form remaining.
Yeah.
And this, I did a rant on my latest video on YouTube about the problem that I'm seeing is that this whole increase the load despite regardless is when you bypass the quality of a movement, and then you start going down these paths that we're talking about, where you start to develop the wrong areas, but you're already down that road now. And then what you're gonna, in a year's time,
it's hard to go back.
You can't, because you've changed how you move. But you've also created such an amount of muscle imbalance that it actually then makes it really hard to then rewind and connect on the previous body parts. So, and I see that mostly, and it's funny because when I was obviously with Stefan over at his gym, when we were doing like laterals and stuff. So, that's the exercise I really kind of preached on for me. I am not strong on laterals, so there's no point trying to be. Until my form is really good and I get stronger laterals with the same form that it requires for me to feel the movement, there is no fucking point me going up to the weight that, So, yeah, I think that's something that's really, there's two camps, isn't there, in bodybuilding right now? And there should be no camp. It should just be bodybuilding. You do what you've got to do in the moment to improve. And sometimes that means you need to rein it back, relearn, refocus. And other times it means you're on the right path, keep going the way you're going.
I think I think it's partially what you said, James, about ego being part of the reason why we do things. But I also think some people just don't want to do, like, look, man, I've been to the gym a number of times where I'm like, fuck, man, I don't feel like doing T-bar rows today.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Like sometimes you just want to do the things you like, you know what I mean?
Sure. But then that is another argument because then it comes down to you can bodybuild in many ways. You can bodybuild solely for this, or you can have a ratio for that, meaning progress as a bodybuilder is a massive part of why you do it, or enjoyment, or both, and it's just a ratio split. Now, all I'm trying to say is that if your train how you want, but if your priority is to be a competitive bodybuilder stage, that's when we have to disengage our emotional marriage to.
I do, and that's what I'm saying is I used to do that. I used to be like, I used to go into the gym specifically and say to myself, okay, the thing I don't want to do today, that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But what I think a lot of guys that maybe don't, they rationalize something to this. So they'll say, like, let's say your split calls for, or your workout that day calls for barbell rows. And you're like, I don't want a fucking barbell row. It's fucking taxing as fuck. You know what? That hammer strength machine works the same muscle. I'm just going to go do the hammer strength machine. And it may work the same muscle, but not the same way, in my opinion. So I'm like, you're kind of like, you're not necessarily you're not giving up. You're just rationalizing a thing that is easier for you, right?
For sure. But I do find it's more the other way around.
In what way? What do you mean?
Like when it comes to exercise, more often than not, I don't find that effort is what stops people something feeling hard. It's normal. I still think ego is overweighing effort. So the fact that you said,
but a barbell row looks way cooler than a fucking DY row.
No, it does, and that's what I'm saying. I would find that more often.
Why are you laughing? It does.
No, it does.
I just imagined your brain, how you were thinking going into the gym. Oh, yeah. I want to be the coolest motherfucker.
No, for sure.
I'm just saying, if it was
throwing around the weights.
I'm just saying, if it's for ego, barbell rowing 3 or 4 plates looks cooler than fucking
for sure. And
hammer
but not if it's a shrug and not a barbell row, which then comes into being the problem.
I don't give a fuck. It still looks cool. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
I was just saying, like, again, I'm only speaking from my experience. I noticed that the option the other way around happens more because of the wanting to impress the people that are watching. You probably do need to do that fucking machine, which is a bit gayer.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying the guy who can't barbell row, maybe he's doing a shrug like Stefan said.
Yeah.
But he's doing it because he thinks it's cool.
Yes.
Instead of doing the DY row where he can actually focus on the lat, but doesn't look as cool. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So and that's where that's where I find things to be a lot at the minute.
Right.
Listen, if we could all barbell row with the form that was like perfect
like mine,
like yours and Dorian.
Do you have a video? I want to see now.
I think I do somewhere.
Yeah, give it.
Fucking Stefan, you're always busting my balls.
You gotta love a little bit of fucking body
and
English.
When you were at your competitive days, not now.
I know. I'm gonna try.
See some T-bars.
Now now he goes through his files. Fouad is the god of barbell rows, and he has 7 million videos and picking out.
I don't know where the fuck. Okay, hostile training. Let's see if it's here.
Yeah.
1 sec. I gotta find it back. You guys talk. I gotta find it back to here.
No, we'll sit here and wait for you.
Well, don't do that.
Wait for him.
Well, let me just type in Fouad Abiad back date. Maybe that'll.
Oh, come on.
You'll find that on YouTube for sure.
4 exercises for a massive back.
Oh,
for sure, barbell row.
Here's some T-bar rows. You want T-bar?
You love a T-bar.
Well, T-bar could also be funny.
Yeah, Fouad loves a T-bar. Yannicka does T-bar rows like she's a fucking
Ronnie.
Yeah, right. We laugh when we see it. She slams them fuckers around.
Let's take a look. What am I doing here? That's
shaven face, bro. You look like a pizza delivery man.
Yeah, he looked more Arab back then, even without beard.
Paul doesn't even look like the same person back
there. Those are my T-bar rows. All right,
that's not bad.
I got some leg involved in there.
That Atlantis one's nice. The shape of it.
Yeah, that's the Atlantis one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
What do we got here? It's just a different angle.
Let's just see.
For sure, it was a good lower back pump.
No, listen, I had a good back, so I don't give a fuck what you say.
I think your movements, you get a lot of. I think watching you row, I think you get a lot of nice
that's cool.
back.
Those are my dumbbell rows. I did train. I did train. Now that I watch it back, like when I watch back things, I'm like, I did train with a little bit too much speed.
Yeah, but if it's controlled, everything is good.
Well, everything.
It's not about speed. It's about control, and it looks good.
And you are controlled.
I felt like I had control. What am I doing here?
That's a big lad.
James, when you train with a partner, do you ever both train with headphones like this and not speak to each other?
No, never. Yeah, I'm not that way. I don't know why I never do. I get it.
I've never done it in my life. So.
Oh, I'm doing it.
I just don't give a fuck.
Okay.
Were those the first Apple ones?
Is that you're with me? That looks like an iPhone original. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Original.
It was an iPod Nano, I think.
They were good.
There's no rows in this one. Let me see if I can find some rows.
You are just deadlifting 3 plates. That's homosexual.
At the end of back, he says. He's going to say. It was at the end. There's the T-bars.
There's some dead stop.
Yeah.
Dead stop T-bars.
Oh yeah, he thought those were cool for sure.
I love those, man. Those are great. Because you stop. You know why? Because you stop the inertia on every single rep.
Yeah.
There's no bouncing. There's no like your body's not bouncing with it, right?
They did feel good.
I like his face when he's done with the set most. You know that badass look. Oh yeah.
Fuck you, Stefan. That's some deadlifts. Let's see. What do we got here? More deadlifts.
I feel like you and Dusty are cousins, but one's Arabic, one's Canadian, white Canadian.
I don't think I can find any fucking rows anywhere.
Oh, look at the face.
Have you seen the face? Have you seen the face?
That was proper.
Fucking guy preaches barbell rows are the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread and doesn't do them once ever.
I have them in here, Ian. I know I do.
Ian, imagine when he's just deadlifting 3 or 4 plates, his barbell row most probably is a half plate.
No. No, it was like a 3.
It's 4 plates, I promise.
There's another T-bar row. I think I did more T-bar rows than anything.
Yeah, I think you did but you did it with the wider grip slightly, didn't you?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
But the diet face is on point.
The flat brim hat. Oh yeah.
Okay, what do we got here?
You look like you're from Def Jam.
There's some Smith machine barbell rows.
Oh my god. You're a fucking more science boy than anyone.
Is that the banging movement?
It's a Dorian Yates row. What are you talking about?
No, you bang the bar.
Yeah, you have to put your cock on.
Yeah, that's how I do it. I like to move my dick against the bar.
You've completed a rep.
What were you saying, Ian?
You said science lifter.
Oh yeah, you do the fucking rows in the Smith machine.
Oh, is that's why?
I used to quite like doing them sometimes because it had such a straight path.
Yeah, I did them too.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Here's another back day. Let's see what's here.
We're all gay.
Wow, look how young I was there. Holy shit.
Oh, with a cool beard.
There's some more T-bar rows. How many plates here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think there's more than 7, mate. I don't know, about 8 or 9.
Yeah, but he's just looking at it, not rolling.
just eyeing it up.
Oh, that form is bad. Let's watch again. Let's see. That's Ronnie form.
You know what though? The thing
literally
is,
just that's a bicep curl.
The thing with that much going through your spine.
You're just doing a drag curl, a 7-plate.
Oh, there's a barbell row. I found one.
That's good, but actually that's good.
I know it is. I fucking know it is. I know how to train.
No, the barbell curl was good.
Where did it go? How come it's like splitting back and forth between movements?
It's a montage.
There we go. 3 plates, reverse grip, barbell row.
No, and the really good back involvement. It's fine.
The thing is, that 3 plates on an underhand isn't a joke. You know, if you.
I think the most I got up to is 4. I've seen you do 5, James.
Overhand. Not under.
Yeah. I did 4 overhand.
I'm sure Ian's done like 5.5, 6 fucking.
I've done 5 overhand, but I haven't done it.
All right. Are you happy, Stefan? You had a good
laugh?
Yeah,
I'm happy.
Okay.
I thought the barbell rows would be bad, but they are really good.
Why would you assume that? You think I've trained like shit?
You know, no, because I've seen the T-bar row before.
My T-bar row is not that bad.
It's
the last one.
Listen, the last one was
that's
bad.
the narrow grip that fucked you though. I think that's the narrow grip that kind of shafted you there.
Yeah, the last one
because when you had that grip, you could get more range.
I think you know what. It was the Ronnie Coleman era. Okay, that was During that time, Ronnie kept pumping out DVDs,
Langing and banging,
and we would watch them. I swear to God, there was a period of time where I watched Ronnie or Dorian train every fucking day.
No, I watched it 2 times. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I watched it before training and after.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of that, like those T-bars were from watching Ronnie fucking.
Yeah.
But for me, the most epic video, it wasn't in a DVD, is really that 200 pounds dumbbell.
Well, the presses.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
12.
That video is so funny.
Watch yourself.
One more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't even actually fail. He just stopped at 12.
Yeah, just stopped for fun.
And he was like, "What? Yeah, watch yourself," because he's dropping them.
No, he throws it.
Yeah.
Can you open that? The people need to see that if they don't know it.
I'm pretty sure he's like, "Watch yourself," because he's throwing it down. Make sure you don't get hit on the feet. Ronnie's back, though. I will say this: Ronnie's back was better before he lifted like that. Ronnie's back was better. Ronnie's back was better in 98 and 99.
But hold on a minute. Is that a symptom of his waist getting thicker, or is that a symptom of
No, I just think even the detail, like the lower back especially, if you look at the way his Christmas tree was in 98 and 99, even in a lat spread when it was open, he still had...
But I think that was the time even the injury started.
Yeah,
and the nerval insertion got worse.
But we've also talked about this. The bigger and thicker a bodybuilder gets,
lose detail.
The more detail they lose. So,
but Ronnie used to do behind the neck pull downs and everything. When he used to do he used to do so many different movements before he was the Ronnie that we knew.
This has taken me back so much. Holy shit!
You have
the weight, I think, is like the true sign of
strength.
Do you know what's freaky? Sorry.
No, I was going to say, Ian, you're 100% right, because that was me. I could never handle dumbbells confidently. Yeah. I could press them and stuff, but I couldn't like lean back with them and like just handle them okay.
No, like even now I have buddies that like can almost, now where I am at strength now, lift the same weight as me. Like my buddy Jay that I train with all the time, he can press 150-pound dumbbells for 8-10 reps. Yeah. But like how it looks getting into the position and like the strength difference of like the manipulation of the weight is still very different, and we see that translate to other stuff, you know?
Yeah, for sure. That's why I was always like, it kind of, when I used to squat, walking out was so easy for me. And that was the same with getting dumbbells in position. I never had a problem.
Yeah, it's funny. I remember that from training with you, James. The one thing that stood out to me the most from training. Remember we trained at Ben's?
Yeah.
The one thing that stood out to me. Yeah, it stood out to me over everything else, Stefan. It was just like when he was moving the weight. Even if, like, I've seen him lift heavier shit. Like, I think you did hack squats with, like, 7 plates maybe that day.
Yeah, we were in the Arsenal one, weren't we?
Yeah, and that's heavy. It's not that it's not heavy, but I think I've seen you do a little bit heavier. But it wasn't even that. It was just the way the weight was moving. I'm like, this is so fucking weird. It looks like...
smooth.
It almost looks effortless.
Yeah,
like,
smooth.
It's like, you know what I mean? Which is fucking... That's the biggest factor I've always been jealous of really strong people. The movement... Like, I asked Akeem when I did a podcast with him a little bit all back. I said... Did you purposely go that heavy, or like what was it like to feel that? He's like, I don't know.
It just happened. Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I just kept lifting till I couldn't lift anymore, and I ended up at 8 fucking plates. I'm like, holy shit! Like they just don't even like register.
The thing is, one of those weird, such a strange feeling, because if you would think what you're doing, it would actually scare you. But like walking out with 8 plates on your back, all your weight on one leg, but you don't even, at the time you're like, you just do it and you just step back, and then when you rack it, you step forward. But if someone said stand on one leg with 8 plates on your back, you'd be like, fuck off. But you do it.
James, can I ask you this? Because I think people are very influenced by the people around them.
Yeah.
So if the guy in your gym maxes out at 5 plate squats, it's my assumption that most people in the gym are probably going to max out at 5 plate squats or a little under that. So what I'm saying by that is, I noticed in British bodybuilding, like, especially some of the gyms you guys train at, like seeing Luke and yourself and Ben and all these people deadlift 7, 8 plates, squat fucking 6, 7, 8 plates. Like, is this a symptom of, oh, if he can do it, I want to do it, and they actually get it in their brain and then they try and achieve it? Because
must be.
It's like the 4-minute mile thing.
Yeah. Like before somebody does it,
no one could do it, and then like once one guy broke it, then it's like people were fucking beating it like every weekend. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
There was a really long time in bodybuilding when nobody here was doing a 6 plate or above 3 bar squat for 10 reps or 12.
Right.
And I don't know who did it first, because I remember trying to do it and it being really hard. But then there was a time where we broke that seal, and it was every session. Every session there was a set of 12 on 6 plates aside, and if I felt really up for it, I'd go for fucking 7 for 6 to 10.
Yeah,
And that still, once it was broken, you saw Luke doing it, Ben doing it, and then a few other freaky boys. But yeah, it was definitely something that had to be done first for people to think this is even necessary, because 5 plates is plenty. You know, fuck me, it's plenty.
Well, I'm just using that as a random
Yeah,
example.
no, but it just set a new bar, and everyone's like, it can be done, so let's fucking do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think people will always try and achieve something that they can see rather than conjure it up in their own mind.
Yeah, no, it has to be seen first.
Like I think majority of people put those limitations on themselves, but when they see somebody else do it, they're like, oh, maybe it is possible. And then
influence is a huge thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
In a positive light as well, you know, we've all done shit that we wouldn't have done in order to be better because someone else has made it look like it can be done.
It's possible, yeah. Okay, before we go on, I want to get into some Arnold talk before we get into questions. I saw this update, and I know it's probably a lot older, and other people didn't maybe saw it. Maybe I haven't covered it because I was away. I don't know, but is this Bonac right now?
Yes, he always loads up posts actual things.
This is the best I've seen him look in a while. Like I'm really impressed with this update. Like it looks like it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like his limbs look like they came back. His legs look fuller. His biceps
just looks better. Like he's got more fullness to the sweep.
Like,
he always looks a little like narrow in the thorax, and then kind of like, you know what I mean, where it's all kind of flowing a bit better here. You know.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Stefan, to bring back? Because I mean, isn't he like in his early 40s?
He's 1 year younger than me, so he's 42. Yes, getting 43.
Because I don't know if you guys agree, but usually, and I'm not saying this happens all the time, because I've seen other cases where it's changed, but usually when a guy starts going over that hill, he's not able to bring it back. And this looks like, almost looks like a William of old a little bit.
William, I think last year was a little bit a struggle because, you know, he got daddy once more. He has 2 small children at home. He was building his gym at home, switching the machines, doing the construction work by himself. He's really a crazy guy.
Yeah.
And after the Olympia, everything settled down a little bit.
Yeah.
So he was able to have a little bit more focus, and I think that's what helps him actually. He can train as he was used to train.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. I'm excited to see it now too, because I'm going to be at the show and I want to see. I'd love to see an old William Bonac come back. You know, maybe not if he's at the his best, but like even if he's close to what he used to look like, that's going to be really impressive. And then there was another update from Brandon Curry.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
That I didn't get a good chance to look at. I saw it pop up, but I was riding, so I didn't get a chance to like examine it. But there was this one that he posted. Oh, do I have to watch the whole video here? Can I just fast forward this somehow?
I have no idea.
Is this the one? Fuck.
Did you delete it, or was that the same?
No, it's the same one. I think
it's probably video. Okay.
Where are the social media pros?
I don't think you can fast forward on a desktop.
On a desktop, no.
I think on your phone you can, but I'm willing to watch this.
I am as well.
What do you guys think of this
music?
What do you guys think of this machine?
I'm not a massive fan of standing chest presses. I think they're okay, but they're not my favorite.
I don't like it.
I used it once. I didn't think it was that great.
Not a fan of it at all.
I wonder if we're just used to lying presses and that's why, or if there's actually something to the difference of standing up versus laying down.
That's it? Or is something coming? Oh,
that's
no.
It.
Still looks really good.
Huh.
The hamstring is so stupid, that little bobble.
Fuck.
Here's his hamstring.
I think there is not more. That was it.
Go to his tag pictures.
Yeah, maybe he's got some tag stuff, yeah.
Someone might have screenshot it. And yeah, there's at least
there you go.
I mean, either way, for a post-cardio look, like this is a good look for Brandon conditioning-wise, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Hamstring was just blows my mind. That weird slab.
Texture.
Also face looks good.
Yeah.
Huh.
Big B dog.
Yeah.
B dog.
People grabbed it a few times.
Yeah, that's what they do now, don't they?
Well, that's impressive. Anybody else have any updates that they know about?
How was the talk with Carlos?
Amazing. Carlos is a great kid. I shouldn't call him a kid. It's funny. I think his mannerisms make me feel like he's younger than he is. I think he said he was 32, but his mannerisms kind of make me, or maybe it was, he kept calling me sir. So that made me feel like he was 25.
Yeah, that's cool.
He's very, very respectful, but I don't know. It seems like he's got a lot of confidence. He wants to be compared with, he thinks he can be compared with Derek.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of conditioning for him. I think if he can bring a conditioning in detail, there's no reason why he can't. But yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. Very, very interesting, job, very interesting lifestyle, very interesting come up to where he is now. What's his job? He's a project manager for it's like an Alzheimer's disease clinic.
Oh.
Where he does all the project management for like all the different studies they're doing and stuff like that. So
super cool.
And then the most interesting thing I found was he's a very like introverted person that I'm not sure if he struggles with anxiety or just has a normal level of anxiety, but he said to me that he likes to go to like museums and art galleries and the theater and stuff like that to relax. And I've been around a lot of bodybuilders in 20 years.
Maybe you should
I said that to him when we were talking because I said I drive motorcycles really fast so I can get away from my anxiety. And he's like, I go to quiet places to get away from my anxiety. And I'm like, I never considered that. I always thought if I just make it louder than my brain.
And we're trying to wash out the noise. If we go somewhere quiet, our brain will have too much time to think about.
That's what I said.
I'm also the guy who needs to.
Yeah, just cover it up.
Stimulation to like if I sit in silence, I'll literally just think myself to death.
I'm at that level. I even can't fall asleep without a TV.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Eh?
No way. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he's an interesting guy though, man. Really nice guy. I think Patrick Moore posted an update. Actually, I should show that real quick.
Shot.
Yeah, this is Patrick Moore's back. I feel like the elbows are a little too low. I don't know why he's doing that. I feel like he should lift that up.
Push his lats forward.
I know he's trying to make his lats look thicker, but I feel like the pose is being thrown off because he's bringing his elbows down.
Look a little better. Bring him back it up a bit.
Yeah, because his back's not bad enough. Like he doesn't need to do that for his back to look good.
He's got a good back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if he could make the pose look better by just lifting the elbows up a little bit.
Patrick suffers in the lower body more than the upper. And stuff.
I think it's also an overall shape thing with Patrick. He's weird. It's almost like he has long legs and a short torso.
Short torso, yeah.
Yeah. Who else do we have to look at here?
You're always searching yourself?
We just did that. What are you talking about? What? Where the fuck? Oh, that's where I was at. James.
No, nothing new.
Nothing new?
No, these are well things.
All right. Anything you want to tell us from behind the scenes, Stefan?
We tried the buckwheat now.
Who did? Where did he
James
go?
did.
Battery died. Oh, I haven't tried the buckwheat. No,
James did yesterday.
Oh, James did. And what
we were carving up, and yesterday he had buckwheat pancakes.
What'd you think, James?
I like them, man. That's that food.
You like them? They taste good. But what about did you feel a better pump? Did you feel like?
No, he had 1,000 carbs yesterday, roundabout.
1,000.
So,
holy fuck.
And he said it was easy to eat and everything went smooth.
Yeah, it was pretty easy. It went hard.
After last
and we
week,
had cream of rice, we had potatoes, and we had buckwheat.
After last week's podcast, I started doing a lot more sourdough this week.
You liked it?
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, but you were also driving with the bike, so it's perfect.
Perfect, it's like packed. You take it with you, can't you?
No, I just mean like it digests so well for me. I like the taste, and it's fucking really easy. I don't have to cook anything. I just toast it and I'm done.
Bang.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good day yesterday. Just trialing some higher carbs, see what's what. A little bit of extra fats and stuff.
So was that a test to see anything?
No, it was a little bit combined. So I wanted to try the buckwheat in a higher amount to see if it fits James, because not getting into that bloating problems. And the second thing, it was needed yesterday to give him a little bit of more pressure into the muscle.
Yeah.
So I combined that because I wouldn't test something when I have no time to test something. So
Right.
it must be also necessary.
James, are you getting excited? You got isn't it like fucking 3 weeks now? 4 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
3 weeks, I think. Yeah,
3 weeks today, right?
Friday,
Yesterday.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Is it
No,
getting?
I'm just listening to what I'm told. So.
Listen, I'm not trying to fuck with your head, but I used to get fucked up in my mind within 4 weeks of a show.
This one I'm right. I'm just a bit tired now.
Do you think you've grown out of it because you're older now? Like, what are you, 35?
Yeah. I think I'm quietly confident it's just going to be a good me. So I can't really ask for much more.
Yeah. I think
whatever that means, I don't know. But I am. I know.
Listen,
I've got a good training partner who watches me pose after training, and
yeah.
the response I get from him and Stefan are both very positive. So I can only do what I'm doing. I know that I do everything I'm meant to. So what else can I ask for, really?
For me, 3 weeks out is always I get.
Yeah.
I'm a bit spastic now. Don't get me wrong. I got my days. Like today, I had a little bit of a rage in the shop.
Yeah.
But that's just normal, isn't it?
I like you at 35. I think it was a combination of age and the right coach came along.
Yeah.
And I was able to present my best looks because I was calm.
I'm very appreciative right now because calm is the question. The answer, sorry, calm.
I think
I just like it. I wake up in the morning. I send over my fucking video, and I'm like, there you go. And my body's kind of on a trend right now as well. Like, it kind of does what I expect, so it's kind of nice because it kind of weight comes off for a few days without changing anything. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Look, I think a lot of it has to do with coaching because the more confident your coach is, the more it puts you at ease.
Yeah.
But I do think a lot of it has to do with age because I was working with Hani when I was 30, and Hani was a great coach, but it didn't fucking matter. I was too young to understand that I just had to trust the process and do the work. I think by the time I hit 35, I was able to just John, tell me what to do, and I would just fucking do it.
Do you know, it's also that I'm just thinking about how lucky I am. I have to keep remembering that. Like I'm with a really great supplement company that has great fucking products.
Yeah.
They're good people. I talk to like Henry that runs a lot of the UK stuff like a few times a week. I'm filming content for them for my YouTube channel, which is a privilege, my YouTube series for the Arnold.
Yeah.
That's only because of them, because they made it possible. I have a good life, man. My missus is fucking, pregnant. I have a new home. I've disconnected from the gym, so I'm all sorted and I'm comfortable. I haven't got the anxiety hanging over me. And like I said, I managed to tie up with Stefan last year, and I've had a whole year of a friendship and a relationship as a coach and client, and I'm just grateful.
Yeah. Do you find it? Somebody asked earlier, which I'm kind of curious about too. I know there's a period of time where you wanted to kind of have the control of your own shit. Are you finding it more comfortable?
This is so comfy, bro.
Yeah.
It's just for me finding the right person. It's like, it's nothing against people, but I'm very in tune with my feelings. And if something's not quite how I need it to be, it's just not quite. And it's nothing personal. It's just, okay, it's not quite. But with Stefan, the vibe that I have with Stefan, I just enjoy it. Like I think with Stefan, it's pretty much all bodybuilding talk, but it doesn't feel like super pressurized.
Yeah.
Like bodybuilding. Even though I love bodybuilding, I love it, and I love bodybuilding when I can enjoy it to what it is. But yeah, there's a seriousness to it, but not so serious that it makes me fucking burn out.
Right.
I'm left alone to do my things around the day, and I train hard, and then on my rest day I try to switch off a little bit, but I eat my meals. I still love bodybuilding, and that's it. Like, what else can you do?
One more. People keep asking this question, so I'm going to ask you, but we don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
No, of course.
Do you want to talk about what happened with the gym or no?
I don't mind a little bit. Just this really, in all honesty, just a conflict of characters.
I would say I would sum it up with different expectations how things should be.
Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you this. And Stefan, you probably know what I'm talking about because you have partners. I'm partnered in a business with my wife and my brother, which is not fucking easy because you can't cut those ties, right? You can't just be like, fuck you, I'm out of here. It's still your fucking wife, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's hard having partners, man, especially as a bodybuilder. Because
Yeah, it is, but if I can answer it from just to put it in the right light without saying it's good or it's bad.
yeah,
In that specific case,
yeah,
it's not about it's hard to have a partner. You always need to have the same direction, blah, blah, blah. Here, the case is I think it's a total different view of everything. So it's just the impossibility.
yeah, but that's part of having a partner. Your expectations have to match, or else you're not going to get along.
Yeah, and I think in that
Yeah,
specific case,
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
not matchable.
Yeah, and I think it's a big deal. I think if you have a partner, like for example, and I'll just throw an example. If you have a partner that's like, hey, let's grow this business for 3 years and then sell it, because I don't want to run a business. I just want to build it and sell it and move on to the next one. But let's say you have a partner that's like, no, I want to build this business for 20 years or 30 years, and I want it to be my business. Well, you two are never going to get along, because you're going to run the business completely differently. Somebody who wants to get out in 3 years is going to do anything possible just to grow the business and pitch it. Somebody who wants to be there for 30 years is going to grow it slow and take their time. And so having partners is a fucking bitch, because everything has to match. And when it doesn't, you have to be able to talk and understand each other so you can move on. And that's not easy, man. It's just not, especially, and that's why I said, especially as a bodybuilder, because when you come from a bodybuilding background, you're used to having control of all your own shit. What show do I want to do? What contract do I want to take? Everything is your sole decision. And when you enter into an agreement with somebody in a business, now you're like, oh, I have to take all this person's feelings into consideration now. And then sometimes that becomes a conflict. So I don't know, James, how much you want to touch on it. I don't know if you want to say anything else about it.
No, again, it's not much. It's just I'm the type of person, I say I'll use the word that when I'm talking in a conversation and I have a business with somebody, if I think it's not, if there's any reason for it not to be where it should be, then I consider it our problem and we need to fix it.
Right.
And I just need people that admit that they're making failures as well.
I see what you're saying.
It's not just pointing finger at somebody, because
Right.
we, as business owners, we have ultimate saying power.
Right.
So therefore, anything that's happening below us as the chain that needs adjustment,
right,
we need to communicate that with each other first and foremost properly, and then we need to approach it professionally. And unfortunately, communication is just pretty wank, and that's it. So I can't be around that. So
I came across a situation just like that with a few friends that had a business together. One person out of the three would take zero responsibility for the position of the company. And I'm like, listen, you guys are running this company together. Wherever it ends up, everybody had a hand in it somehow. So if somebody can't take ownership or have the humility to say that they're part of it, that's also a problem too. So
yeah, and I'm not saying anything is this or that. I'm not going to go into
I'm
the
not
details.
either.
I'm just saying that my ex-business partner knows what my opinion is, disagrees with my opinion. Fair enough, and that's why we can't do business.
Right.
That's it. Because it's incompatibility, and I'd rather take myself elsewhere and either just move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right. Put a button on.
And I'm busy. I've got other shit going on, good stuff, like fucking getting ready for the Arnolds and shit. So might as well just focus on what's gifted in front of me in these great positions and things that not many people get to do. So that's why I say I count my blessings, because I'm happy. I've made great friendships with people, and I've got good people like yourselves that come on and talk to, and man, I can't complain. I've got a fucking good existence.
Yeah.
I say, good life.
We'll move on. We'll do some questions. Iain. Actually, Iain, I already know your thoughts on this. Stefan, your thoughts on or experience with SEO and pro bodybuilding. How common is it? Have you done it? Do you think it's good or bad?
I think in some cases it's part of the game to
15 liters
to show some symmetry, but on the other hand, it's the most misdone thing, because people overdo it, people do it wrong, people get addicted to it, and it destroys physics faster than it makes physics better.
Do you have a moral argument in there?
No.
You don't think it's bad at all? You don't care?
I don't have a moral argument in it.
Ian? James? Do you give a fuck?
I don't have one because I'm kind of like, the shit we already do in bodybuilding, I'm like, fucking hell, you might as well just do whatever you're going to do, but just be good with it. Like,
yeah, just be good with it.
like, I'm just like, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. Like, we could already look at half the things we do and have a problem towards it. So it's a bit kind of condescending, not condescending. It would be a bit of an oxymoron to be like, oh, to forbid it.
Right.
Am I pro it? No, I'm not necessarily pro it. But again, I'm not going to say to somebody, don't do it.
Right. Yeah,
if you can do it, if you can do it with a quality of that adds to you,
yeah.
Fair play. It's a skill that or not a skill, but it's an attribute of bodybuilding that is there. And if you learn to do it well, then you've taken the time and the energy to learn to do it well. Fair play to you. Is it my cup of tea? Probably not, but oh well.
Ian, do you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that bodybuilding is about how hard you work. I think it's about creating a look. And if you use this and you can do it to the point that enhances your physique, there's no moral argument. I completely agree there. I don't think there's any morality issue. I think if you're doing it so that judges are noticing it and it should be detracting from your look, then I think judges should penalize for it. Mm-hmm. But I think there's probably a ton of really good bodybuilders using it that judges aren't penalizing them for. And I think at that point, then it's adding to your physique. And I think there's no morality against it. So yeah, no, but I do agree with Stefan that guys get addicted to it, and that as an overarching theme, I think more guys are doing harm to their physiques than they are good. You know, the amount of damage you can cause to a muscle by constantly shoving big needles into it daily. You know, some guys are, shooting, 6 sites in their bicep, 3 mils every day. And it's just like over time, it's going to just wither away a muscle. And I think that is more of a detriment. But I think if the guys that are doing it well, then I have no problem with it now.
Somebody answered in the chat already. I should have done. Sometimes I forget that we have listeners that aren't hardcore bodybuilders. SEO is site enhancement oil. It's basically you're just injecting oil into the muscle to create a more volumized look.
Yeah, there's a million different kinds of them out there now, but yeah.
Yeah, they're not all oils. Anyway, whatever. The point is, it's not real.
Site enhancement.
It's site enhancement. It's not steroids. It's not creating real muscle. It's basically filling in the gaps in your physique.
Yeah.
My personal opinion is the only place that ever looks any good is a little bit in the arms and a little bit in the shoulders. And to me,
that's the general consensus, isn't it?
And to me, I think to have a good physique, the hard body parts to build are not body parts that you could fix with SEO. So I'm like, if you
100% agree.
If you got shit back, you got shit back.
Yeah. So if you put half an inch in your fucking your bicep because you use some SEO, I don't give a fuck. Because if you built your back and your legs and everything, like, it doesn't matter. Plus, like Ian said, there's no morality argument. Like, what are you going to say? Well, SEO's immoral, but using 1,000 milligrams of tren is not.
Yeah.
Like, there's like,
if you're going to make that case, then the argument, someone saying in the comments too, of breast augmentation enhancing a woman's physique goes out the window, or filler, or any of these things. Like, these aren't something you built to enhance your physique. You bought them. You put them.
And the point is, you can't get big with SEO. That's the point. The work must be there. You can't get.
You can't make
look
like
that Brazilian
good.
super freaks.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Someone said, "Can I put SEO in my dick?" And the answer is, you can certainly try. I'd love to hear how it works for you.
Don't do it because he said it. I'll get sued. Ian, don't tell him not to do that. Joshua Moore asks, James will beat Derek, the biggest white guy on stage will stand out.
Biggest white guy. Don't know if I'm the biggest. He's a big guy. He's a big lad.
This guy says steroid gains are at least muscle. JK.
So
nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah, and to be fair, that's like a young bodybuilders. Well, not young, but like earlier in bodybuilding, when you're not even making money out of it, you kind of feel that way. But then it gets to a point where you're like, man, I could win $500,000 at this show.
Yeah.
Well, it's not only that. Bodybuilding is not a fucking sport. It's a pageant.
It's a pageant.
It's not something that's like, it's literally just about a look. And anything that can be done to enhance the look, if it's enhancing the look, then it can
like
be
tanning, for example.
Exactly.
So-
Anything that can enhance a look is fair play. And I don't think there's any other than that. I do agree, like we said, that it's ruining more physiques than it's enhancing. So then I think you need to be very weary and very careful with it. You know,
Yeah,
I
for sure.
think morality arguments exist in real sports.
Yeah, when
like
you're
like sports with an objective way
enhancing
to,
somebody.
sports in a way which are like in which you can objectively win. Like
Yeah.
if you're a fighter and you take steroids and the other guy's not,
Yeah,
there's a morality argument there.
yeah, for sure.
If you're doing a pageant where we're basically
You're all allowed to wear makeup, get your tits done.
yeah, we're going to judge you on how you look,
Fake hair.
and that's it. I
Yeah.
don't know if you can make morality arguments at that
No,
point.
you can't. Not competitive. You might not competitive bodybuilding, because competitive bodybuilding is a pageant.
Most overrated sex position.
doggy style.
No, what are you
No,
talking
no.
about? It's incredible.
Reverse cowgirl.
But reverse cowgirl is definitely the most overrated. Yeah.
No way, it's
You always
amazing.
end up having to hop them off.
Look, Fouad. Whoa, they're all amazing. But
But
we're
it's not
talking about
overrated.
overrated.
No, it's
Yes.
not overrated. It's great. What
All
are you
which
talking
is
about?
too complicated.
It's a lot of effort for
Yeah.
women.
How is a lot
Yeah.
of you got it just laying there?
Yeah, no.
But you
Reverse
still got
cowgirl
to
is definitely the most
assist with a little bit of hip and shit, like a little bit of aim,
What do you-
make sure you're not sliding all over the fucking place.
What do you want to be dead? You just want to lay there and not move at all?
What?
Yes.
No, we're saying overrated. We have to pick one.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't
Yeah,
all-
but that's not a good one.
so what's
is,
the
But
one?
what is yours?
What is it?
You should have some
I,
weird names.
I haven't
for the
thought of it yet,
Pharma
but you guys named two great
We're gonna
ones.
name every position. You're like, oh, that's great. You know? Yeah, they're all fucking great. Your dick is in a vagina. They're all fucking awesome. You know?
Sutra. Just what
No,
one's
but
just
But
overrated?
those two are incredible. Like, come on.
I don't think reverse cowgirl's that good.
How? It's
Because
like
in comparison to regular doggy
perfect-
style or even missionary with a leg up, it's
Yeah.
still not
James.
as good.
James, there's a perfect view of the vagina, and you're laying on your back. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's
You get the whole ass.
but I still think it's a little bit overrated.
I agree.
I disagree. Stefan,
Sorry,
what do you
man.
think?
I agree with the voice.
Do you really? You guys
Yeah.
suck. You guys suck.
So
We're
what's
just not
yours?
reverse
Pick one then.
cowgirls.
Put one
Yeah,
out.
he's
Put one
shy.
out here.
Missionary's overrated.
I like missionary, man. You got
See, this motherfucker likes missionary.
dude,
Why?
Love missionary.
because you got
It's
the
so
neck, you got the
overrated.
face, you got
It-
the lips,
Yeah,
you got the
everything
hair,
is there.
Oh my god,
Tits
are
on
you
you.
serious?
fucking stomach
You're
on you.
so lazy. That you hear this?
It's because he wants to be on his
He wants
back.
the ones. He's like reverse cowgirl where I'm laying down.
Ah,
And the second this fat ass has to do a little work, he's like,
No.
"Oh, yeah,
I'm out of here.
not at all. I'm more than happy to do the work
sure you are.
in many other positions. Missionary is the worst position.
I bet when you're doing doggy style, you're just standing there and she's on all fours, rocking back and forth. You know, you're not even moving. You're not even moving.
No, man.
He's just braced against
I
the wall.
look at this. This is the
No.
sixth position, but I will agree. A 69 is definitely overrated too.
Yeah, that's boring.
See, I'll give you that one. That
But
one.
that's not a sex
It's
position.
not boring. Wait a minute. Boring is
Yeah.
It's just
Boring.
complicated. It's just complicated.
No, you can't focus.
Yeah, it's not.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you
69
can't
is-
focus. No,
You're doing it wrong. You don't know what you're doing.
is that even all allowed in the Arab countries?
Yeah, it's illegal
They
in
got a
Iran.
they got a Kama Sutra. I'm sure
Man,
that's-
are you fucking listen? I said it's overrated because it's harder to eat a pussy in that angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's fucking amazing. It's not. I'm not
But
distracted.
overrated doesn't mean something's not great. It just means it's overrated.
Yeah, but he said it's overrated for the wrong reason. He said it's
Yeah, I could come along without it at all.
Well, so could I. I could fucking come from a pee-pee
Yeah,
touch.
so it is overrated.
That's it's overrated. It's overrated because it makes my tongue work harder than it has to.
No, do you know what the most overrated sex position is? When you're trying to like lift someone up and shag them against the wall because it's
Oh
just
my
That's for
god,
sure.
that's for sure the worst.
awful.
That's
No,
the worst.
all the listen.
It looks
all-
great in film.
Yeah.
In film, you're like, this would be so good, and then when
Yeah.
you try it, you're
It
like,
fucking sucks.
Movie sex is the fucking worst. Try to
Yeah.
pick a chick up and fuck her for more than 30 seconds. It's
you're-
not gonna happen.
you're
No.
gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so
gas
we
it
agree on
out.
that. We agree on that one.
Well, because I'm gonna get a bicep pump, then my fucking hard on's gonna go away, and like fucking,
Yeah, it's just not. It's not worth it. No.
I'm out of breath for no reason.
And
you can't ride it. You can't ride it.
You're not getting any better penetration than any other person.
Yeah, and I can't fucking see anything. Like, you know, I can't see any of the body.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to work. Fouad definitely doesn't want to work that hard for sure.
Okay, so that's that. We all agree that the movie style.
Ian, I'm not a lazy fuck, man. Sure. I'm not a lazy fuck. I'm a fucking. I go to work.
You know, the next stage would be that he says, "Oh, it's hard to get it in."
No. She's got to line it up. She holds it there. No, I just think, listen, Missionary sucks. You guys are wrong.
No.
Missionary's still better than The Wall.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
100%.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So The Wall has won this contest, isn't it?
Also. So what are you saying?
If I'm picking Missionary and Reverse Cowgirl, I'm still picking Missionary.
Okay, I'm going to say this. I will, if I'm going to choose for myself, most overrated sex position. Is The Wall one of them? Are we going to use that? Because it's
I think shagging against the wall is the worst.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Against the wall. Okay. Now, most underrated.
Missionary.
Yeah. I'll give you Missionary.
Because you can do quite a lot.
Because I do like it.
It's overrated and underrated all at the same time.
Yeah, it's overrated by you guys.
No, we're saying underrated.
We say underrated.
Yeah.
I agree with you. It's underrated.
Yeah, what? But you also said it's overrated.
A moment ago, it was overrated by you.
Well,
paradox. It's a paradox.
It's a paradox. Yeah.
I don't think it's a great sex position, but I think I don't. It's not. It's not a great sex position.
What comes under the umbrella term of missionary? Because like, does cocking a leg up or two
still
count?
No.
Missionary.
No. Missionary is this.
Flat.
No, missionary's still okay.
This is missionary.
Okay. Fucking ham sandwich. Yeah, no, missionary without a leg up drops it by
but
three.
It's not that. It's just the upper.
Yeah, it's just this. Listen, if you say missionary, but I got both legs behind her ears, that's a different thing altogether.
That's super drill. That's looking for oil.
Drilling for oil.
Yeah. I think the one leg up at an angle clamshell.
Yeah, that's not missionary.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
We got like a 45-degree penetration angle and a bit of weight behind you.
You guys are fucking funny.
I'm filming it next time I do it, and I'll blank my face out. Demonstration purposes only.
But would we see the bamboo?
You can see the bamboo. I'll keep that side.
Okay.
Bamboo toe.
Okay. Let's move on. Do you have a personal rival on stage? That's interesting. I didn't have a rival. I always wanted to beat Juan Morel, and that's not because of. Yeah, this is not anything personal against Juan Morel.
Like a measuring stick for you.
Yeah, there's like I think most bodybuilders like this.
It was the gatekeeper. You said the gatekeeper of that tier.
Yeah, I assumed most bodybuilders thought the way I did, but they maybe don't express it on the podcast. They don't want to say too much. But I always felt like I was on that cusp between being in a better group of bodybuilders, and Juan Morel was like
the border.
Yeah, maybe not the border, but at least in that realm where I'm like, okay, if I could beat Juan, then it puts me into that category with those guys.
That was my Steve Kuklo at the time.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, and then you beat him, so it made you feel like you reached.
I never lost to him.
Yeah. No, but that's not the guy then.
But you know that's a lie. I did lose to him once.
But that's not the guy then.
I lost to him the first Olympia I did, and then I beat him in Texas. Yeah.
I know, but that's not the guy I'm talking about. I'm talking about a guy that is like James said. I've used the word before of gatekeeping.
But that's what it was for me when I went in to do that Texas. I knew Steve was ahead of me because the last Olympia I'd done, he was like 6th or 7th, and I was 14th at my first Olympia. So then when I went to Texas, I'd already won Tampa a week before. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well, this is a good measure. I don't gain anything here other than, the money, but I'm saying it was more in terms of the challenge to see where I stacked up against a guy that at that time was a higher level bodybuilder than me on the Olympia stage. And I just wanted to see how close, or if I could beat him, I would be going into that Olympia. And then I competed against him again at the Arnold too.
Oh, sex positions. Gone back already.
Did you have to Google?
We've reverted back.
Well, I thought this will help me think of things more. Okay, so
plow.
This is called a snail. It's not a super drill, James. It's called a
But
snail.
the cool thing, he keeps
I like the
everything
name.
open until the evening.
I like the name. I think the name Super Drill better. I think we should have kept that one.
Candle. There's Candle.
This one's horrible, by the way. This
is a shit one. This is the wall.
This one's also shit unless she's leaning on a couch.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lotus Blossom.
That's a shit.
That's like a tantric. That's some tantric one that'll take like 8 hours to come.
What even is the proposal? What are they doing here?
I have no idea.
The proposal.
These are
they
all
look like they're doing wall
shit.
They look like they're doing wall sits.
These are all bullshit. Who's doing this?
What's April's Fool's Paradise?
I like Hero. They've even brought a little triangle to lean on.
Swing, I think you need like a sex swing for it. So
look at Hero. Hero's brought a little triangle cushion to use.
Who
I really like the perch.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Because she's doing all the work.
No, that's not why.
Yeah.
Lustful leg isn't that good, by the way.
I like a good visual, Ian. It's not because of the work.
What's going on in the head float?
Look at Lustful Leg. That's a gym.
Look at the next one though. What's the head float? Where even is it?
Her head is in his ass. What the fuck?
Yes. She's this is
Oh, I like the Hero. I gotta try that.
Hero looks like
Hero's the one below. Hero's the one below. Oh no, where's the name?
No, this one's Hero.
So then where's the names of the bottom row?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hero looks like he's drilling her in the ass, though. It looks like it's
he's fucking smashing the shit out.
It's the same as the candle up in the left, but
he's angry with her, mate. Yeah. Trust me. You've been bad tonight. Fuck you.
Oh, this one's good. I like this one. She's got like a triangle pillow
locked into a little ball.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I can imagine you get a lot of air compression on that one.
This is a 69. This is the overrated one.
Yeah.
This
you can narrow the search down here by breast sex or by cunnilingus.
What?
Cunnilingus. Eating vaginas.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking at all the cunnilingus positions.
Go reset.
That's a good one.
Go reset. Oh yeah, there you go.
One leg up.
Yeah.
Pleasure Garden 69 oral. That gives you star rating as well.
3 out of 5. It's got a 3 out of 5 rating.
3 out of fucking 5.
3 out of 5.
And it's had 60 votes as well. That's a lot.
This must be a good one. I would order the pizza.
Yeah. Then it gives you effort. It's 100%. It's got the badge of must try.
100%.
It's 100% must try.
Yeah, but just 3 stars.
These ones are just standard. That's standard. That's standard. That's good. I got to try this one. I like that. The elevated hips.
Yeah, you have the pillow.
That
one's when she's on your desk.
Yeah.
Not literally on your fucking desk. You need a sit-stand desk for that.
I think that's it.
Mate, I couldn't think of anything longer right now than eating a vagina.
What?
Just, when you're like 3 weeks out and you're just like, my jaw would be like, fuck off.
Or your jaw's fucked.
You're like not even horny at all. And you're like, I'm not even getting any pleasure out of this.
Yeah. The G8, you're getting a little bit of a jaw pump in there, you know?
Oh. Not the time for licking vaginas.
It's like when you're chewing that flank steak and you're just like, oh my God, you know?
I had that yesterday because this high carb day, my head just pumped up.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go on. You know what? We'll do 1 or 2 more and we'll go. Have you guys seen the movie Magazine Dreams, this new bodybuilding movie that everybody's talking about?
Never.
Yeah, it's not out yet though.
It's not out yet, right?
No.
Sounds after Vida story, Magazine Dreams. Or nothing.
It's not a true story, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
It's just that bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's that fucking, what's that black dude's name again?
They asked me, I don't know if it's a real email or not, but I haven't. I honestly don't. I'm like, I think it's fake. I feel like it's fake. I do, because they messaged me. The email looks legit and everything, but I don't know. They messaged me and said if I wanted to have Jonathan Majors, that's his name.
That's it, Jonathan.
Oh yeah. He's pretty built as well.
If I wanted to have
Jackson's movie for sure.
Yeah, they asked me if I wanted to have him on the podcast. I'm like, this can't be a fucking real.
Mate, if you could, you should.
Well, I responded and I was like, I'd love to, but I don't think it's real. It can't be fucking real.
Did you send your account number with it?
Yeah, they're like, just send us your Visa number and we'll get them on, no problem.
To my knowledge, it's the story of like an amateur bodybuilder like doing what it takes to get up to like have those fucking magazine dreams of like being at the top level, you know?
That's cool.
Sounds like a good movie.
Yeah, we need something like that.
What's your
movie? You will never guess what I watched today before the podcast. Kung Fu Panda.
Great movie.
I'm so bad at cartoon movies. I don't know any of them.
That's really popular. Jack Black.
It's brilliant.
I've heard it's very good. There's 4 of them.
And all of them are amazing.
Yeah.
I got to get into. I'm like the only guy I know that doesn't watch cartoon movies.
I started watching a new show yesterday too called Paradise. Have you guys heard of the show?
No, but they suggested it to me. Is it good?
Yeah, so far it's pretty good. I'm like 2 or 3 episodes in.
Is that not one with the guy that plays Cyclops from the first X-Men? Yeah, meant to be good.
Yeah. It's like I don't want to give any away of the show.
Yeah, but really presidency, it's all to do with presidency and shit.
It's good. Yeah.
Is it this?
Yes.
Yeah.
What platform?
Here it's on Netflix, I think, for us.
Yeah, I think it might be Netflix. I'm not sure what I'm watching on.
Well,
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Disney Plus. Sorry,
Disney Plus. Yeah.
Is that It's a show, not a. Oh yeah, it's a 1 season. Okay, so it's a show.
Yeah, I think it's only like. Is it like 3 episodes, but they're like long?
There's a couple. I've watched at least 2 or 3 now. I don't know how many. It only came out January 28th. That started.
Okay, so they're probably still
only 3 or 4 could be out now.
I just finished watching. I finished Shogun now, by the way.
Shogun's good.
Yeah. Shogun's
I gotta get into that. You guys talking?
Shogun is great, but the best thing, because Shogun is much better than that, what I will tell you now. But I've watched it last year. But this year, my favorite so far was The Gentleman.
Yeah, that was really good. Gentleman's
that was good.
Guy Ritchie.
Did you watch American Primeval?
I've started it.
Oh, great fucking series. It's talking about your people colonizing the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'll have to check it out.
It's on Netflix. The other one, did you guys end up watching Green Book like I told you?
I did.
James?
But I'd already seen it, but I watched it again. It's fucking so good.
I just watched YouTube.
It's a nice happy ending too, you know?
Stefan, did you watch Green Book?
No, but I will.
Everybody thanked me. You know when I recommended it last week? I got so many fucking DMs from people that are like, oh, it's so good. Thank you.
Great recommendation.
It's a feel-good movie too. Like it's not some shit fucking ending. Like it ends and wraps it up and is a nice happy. It's good.
I like happy movies.
We need that in life.
Okay, let's wrap it there. James, good luck in your 3 weeks. I'm going to see you next week probably anyway.
Yeah, I'm around.
Oh, we do such a live thing in Ohio?
Yeah, we should. I could bring my gear.
At the bar?
Listen,
have some
whiskey?
Oh, you want to film like a session of getting fucked up? Yeah. You know what? I get really ugly when I'm drunk.
He does.
But it will be funny.
Oh, it will be really funny. Like Ian had to babysit me the last time we were in Columbus.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I was sitting on the curb.
Friends are full.
Outside on the street of the fucking hotel, just shit-faced.
We were talking to random people and
Yeah. Okay.
We will end up at Mike Late Night Slices, the pizza store. You know it?
Yeah.
Did you recognize that you get discount when you are homosexual?
No, they don't.
They do. There is even a sticker.
Do I have to prove it? Can I just say I'm gay?
I have no. I think you can say.
If I just say I'm gay, will they give me the discount? Or do I have to kiss Ian or something? If I can
you can kiss for a discount, that's okay.
Ian can stand at the front, and the 3 of us can stand behind him. We'll be like, we're his boys.
Yeah.
We're his bears.
You know, James, what was the most funny? They gave Matze a discount.
Oh no! So they assumed
because he always wears that shirts, you know, and looks like one of the village peoples.
There you go. So just dress up like that. We're good.
What's your week look like though? Like when are we gonna drink? After
I arrive at Monday and I leave Tuesday after.
I know, but James, are you gonna partake in this evening? Because we don't have to wait till Saturday.
He's the boss. He's the boss. You speak to him. If you can.
Saturday for sure will be fun day because next show is quite long.
Yeah, I've got like a month till yours.
Yeah.
So I can get bladdered in between. So my kidneys.
Are you guys leaving on Sunday or Monday?
No, Tuesday.
I think I'm not leaving till Monday at least myself. So I'm there till.
Okay, well, we usually have a hostile dinner on Sunday night, but it ends up being more than just hostile. It ends up being like.
Yeah, I was with you guys last year. It was really nice.
Yeah, it ends up being friends and whatever. So maybe we save it. Maybe we save it for Sunday night, and we all get together. Cool. Yeah, I got to reserve the restaurant because they get like a private room there.
If I do well, I'll pay for the meal.
If you win, you have to pay.
If I win, I'm not just going to pay for the meal. I'll fucking pay for the prostitutes.
Gonna give everybody money.
I'll pay for the prostitutes and the strippers. Everything. Fucking hell.
Hookers and blow on James.
Yeah. Absolutely, mate. If I
Okay.
won.
Okay.
Fuck, man, that'd be it.
All right, boys.
Wouldn't make it back to England.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for coming.
See you guys.
Thank you. All right, guys.
Okay, boys.
Bye.